Hi guys, before we start today's episode, which I know you're all very excited to watch, there is something I have to talk about. Basically, we recorded the first sort of hour and a half of the podcast with Dan, and the battery died on the camera. Without getting too technical, it just means that the back end of the file didn't know to close to create a file, so it's like an open-ended corrupt file. I've managed to recover most of it. At the moment I'm 50% of the way through. We're only missing about 5 minutes, so there will be a jump. I'm hoping that the rest of it goes completely fine, but if it doesn't, there may be a couple of jumps, but I think we'll get at least 90% of it, just so you know. Anyway guys, enjoy the video, let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you next week. Stay cleaning.
If you're looking for a laugh while cleaning a room,
You get on someone else's stuff.
making windows sublime, you got the
It's
right
weird.
bag with
It's very
Ryan
similar
and
to taking your own
Dan.
stuff,
Welcome to
it's
the
just we're here,
Uncleanables
we might be watching
Podcast.
it.
Am I in? You in?
We're all in.
Yeah.
If you're in, I'll be in. Yeah,
Let's
we're
go.
recording.
The jingle
Right.
plays.
So there's a jingle player now, is
The
it?
jingle will play now as
Cleaning
we're
the roof.
getting together. Blah 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 blah. Right, do you want to do intro?
Yeah,
Got me to do it.
absolutely. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Uncleanables Podcast. Today we have a special guest, Dan Smithson.
No everyone.
He's come all the way up today to have a chat about his business. Now you've probably seen him online, he's on YouTube and all the rest of them. He started out window cleaning and then grew his business to 3 employees, I believe it was.
3 employees,
with
yeah.
3 vans.
Yeah, 3 vans.
And then he decided to scale it back. So while we're all in the race trying to get to the end, Dan was at the end and decided to come back a little bit. So we're here today to have a chat with him, see what his reasons are behind it, and go from there.
Yeah, cool.
So,
Sounds
firstly,
good.
Dan, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good, thanks, I'm all good. Yeah, it was a
good.
nice drive up here, it's not too bad. It's
Good.
you're not too far, so it's
Yeah,
all good.
so far.
And
By the way, I love this setup. You said,
Very,
it's
yeah.
not much. This is great, honestly, I love it.
we do like people coming down here.
Yeah.
It's
You got nothing of it, this is amazing.
You've almost like, we haven't got facilities, we haven't got running water, so it
No,
can be a little bit.
Yeah, but what you're doing here with the podcast and stuff, I think it was crying out for it. With
I
the
appreciate it.
exterior
That's
cleaning.
exactly what we
Yeah.
thought. And eventually we will get
We'll get the new unit. Yeah, of course.
Oh, you're going to go big with it?
Yeah.
So
100%.
we actually made an offer on a unit a couple of months ago now.
Yeah.
Really?
It was like 200 square metres. I don't know what kind of works it out at, 3,000 square foot.
It was,
huge.
with a big mezzanine floor.
Right.
Had
kitchen,
2 offices
yeah.
upstairs. My wife was going to take one of them for her business. We were going to deck out the other one.
Oh,
Kitchen,
cool.
toilet, the lot. But the only real winners in that situation were the council, because the rates were £7.5 grand a year.
Oh,
On
it's-
top of the rent, it was nearly 20 grand a year. I just couldn't worry in
I
at the
have,
moment.
yeah, at the moment, yeah, but you never know.
No,
You never know.
yeah, well, basically,
You never know, you know.
the plan.
Next
has
Joe
been-
Rogan over here.
The plan's basically to take that money that we were going to spend on that unit, put it into the business,
Yeah.
and and then this time next year, hopefully.
That's fair. He gets what he likes doing, and he's managed to scale that really well. Which is similar sort of thing to us, but in a different type of way, if you know what I mean. It takes the same skill set to scale something
Yeah.
like that. But so I went to him and I just said, Mike, I've known him from the gym as well. I've gone to the gym with him a few times at this point, and he's a good family friend. And I said, I'm not happy with what I'm doing. I'm looking at going into car cleaning, and I thought you'd be a good guy to know, because you're obviously in the cleaning industry. I don't know anyone else in the cleaning industry. What's my next step? How do I go about doing that? I'm 20 at the time, so I'm so young, and I didn't know what was going on. And he said, Dan, actually, it's funny you've come and asked me, how about window cleaning? I was like, window cleaning, what? And I was like, why did you say that? He's like, well, I got a mate, Ricky from Bournemouth Jet Washing.
Yeah,
Ricky.
Ricky Bedding. I think.
Yeah. So he goes, my mate Ricky, he does window cleaning right now, but he's trying to move into jet washing and solely do the jet washing. So he's looking at someone to take over his window cleaning sort of business, just take it on.
How about that, eh?
And I was like, oh my God, I tell you, it's not what, it's
Yeah,
bloody
totally, mate.
I mean, just
you
like
didn't
that.
even realise at the time
I
how
didn't even-
big of a step that was for
No,
you as well.
not at all. And I didn't even know anything about window cleaning.
Yeah.
The most I knew is we had this guy that came and cleaned our windows at my mum and dad's house where I was
With a
living.
chamois on his shoulder.
Yeah, and he turned up in this beaten up old car, and I was like, what's this old boy doing?
Yeah.
And mum was like, oh, he's cleaning the windows. And I was like, oh, okay. And now I know, like, he was just he wasn't doing a proper job or anything, but that was as far as I knew knew of window cleaning. This old boy turned up and cleaned your windows, and I didn't even know it was a business. I didn't know anything about it. I was 20 and I was just cruising through life, not really doing much. So he said, anyway, I've got a mate called Ricky. Ricky's probably watching this, so you're right, Rick. So he said, do you want me to call him in the office and we can all have a chat and we can see where we're going from here? Because he's desperate to push the pressure washing because he says he's getting too old for the window cleaning. Ricky was a traditional window cleaner at the time. He never wanted, because he said, look, if I stay in window cleaning, I'm going to have to get the pole system. I prefer doing on the ground, my, jet washing. So anyway, I met up with Rick and Mike in the office, and Ricky he just come up. He said, "Yeah, I'm looking for someone to take over the, obviously buy it off me. We'll sort something out at some point." Ricky was, I don't. His customer, he was all right. He was very cheap for window cleaning, but I didn't know that at the time. When I first met him, he goes, "Oh, Dan, how much you earn at the moment?" And I was on £6.22 an hour. Working as a warehouse person, and he said, "Oh, Dan, if you do it right, you could easily make £100 a day doing window cleaning." I was like, £100 a day? I'm making like £200 a week right now. £100 a day. I thought that's ridiculous. That's such good money. And I was so young, and I was just like, yeah, £100 a day, I'll take that. I then went out with Rick. Rick said, "Come out with me, and see if you like it, and we'll, and take it from there."
What age was Rick?
Oh, he was mid-40s.
But you was in safe hands with a pair of them, yeah? Well, it sounds like you was young and naive.
I don't know.
Almost, yeah.
I don't even know what I was doing, to be honest. I could have gone out and I'd never cleaned a window in my life.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Mate, it sounds an incredible opportunity.
So I was still working at it was called Pampered Pets. I don't know if anyone's heard of it, the warehouse. It was a pet shop warehouse. And I was still working there, and I went to my manager and I said, "Dave, I got this opportunity, but I don't know what I want to do, because obviously I'm here, but I don't want to, because I like the people I work with. It was a job at the end of the day. I had this very small mindset that, I can't give up this job.
Yeah, totally.
And I don't know what, even though I'm 20, it doesn't really matter what I do. I could go off and go traveling and do nothing.
When you're 20 though, it doesn't compute in your brain.
Exactly. I thought, this is a big decision. And it is a big decision, to be fair, but I was still living at home, so it really wasn't that big of a decision. I had no kids, I had nothing. So I went to Dave, my manager, and I said, "Would you mind if I take my 4 weeks holiday in one lump sum and just go off and try this thing, and if it doesn't work out, could I come back?" And he was like, "Well, we don't normally do that, but we'll have a word with the big boss and we'll see what we can do." So we went away, and he said, "Yeah, Dan, we can do that if you want, but what we'll have to do is if you then go off and do this thing, you might have to pay back some of the holiday." So I was like, "Yeah, no, that's fine." So I went off and did it. And me and Ricky got on like a house on fire. It was like, Ricky's such a nice bloke. If anyone's ever met him, you'll know he's just the most laid back bloke you're ever going to meet. And we had such a laugh together. And I instantly loved it. I love being outdoors, because I've always been stuck in this warehouse inside all day, every day. Never seen in the winter, you go in when it's dark and you come home when it's dark. I just didn't see the light. So I was outside all day. It was lovely. It was like February time. It was February, I think it was at the time. And so it was still a bit cold and that, but I was just loving it. And me and Ricky were having such a good banter and stuff. And as the weeks went on, I was like, "Oh, Rick, I definitely want to do this." He's like, "Oh, I'm so glad, we'll sort something out in the spring, when you've been doing it a while." And then, then I spoke to my boss and I said, "I'm carrying on with this." And he was like, "No, don't worry about it, Dan, And I didn't even have to pay back the holiday in the end that I took. Yeah, they weren't bothered. They said, I'm really happy for it. It was a small family-run business. Yeah. So he was happy for me to go and do it. Well, I say small, it was a pretty big business, but in the pet shop world, it's quite a small business. Yeah. And then we just went from there, and then I was working with Rick for all spring. And Rick was like, "Dan, I really want to get off these window clean now. I really don't like it."
Is he paying you wages at this point?
Oh, yeah. So at this point, I started off at £7 an hour with Rick, just for that month.
You quids in anyway, really.
Well, that's it.
Pay rise.
Yeah, that's it. I got, what's that, 60p pay rise an hour? So I was like, I'm just happy to do it.
A lot of money back then, probably.
Well, yeah, back in 2011. Yeah, it seems like a lifetime away now. But yeah, so he paid me £7 an hour. Then we went to a split. So he said, "Dan, I'll take 60, you could take 40. I was like, "Yeah."
And you're still with him in the van?
Yeah.
Mate, that's great.
I know. So Rick he just really wanted someone to take over.
Take it over, yeah.
He wasn't that bothered about the money. Because I was in his van, we were driving around, using all his diesel and his insurances and stuff.
So obviously, had he started doing pressure washing at this point? Did you do any pressure washing?
Yeah, he did. He was doing pressure washing at this point, not to the extreme he's doing now. He's doing really well now, but yeah, he was doing pressure washing, and we were doing odd jobs here and there, gutter jobs. He was teaching me how to do gutter jobs and pressure washing, and
Good mentor, yeah.
yeah, he was a really good mentor. You probably didn't know that, Rick, but to me, he was a really good mentor, and I think I was craving something like that at the time. I was a bit lost.
I think people underestimate how important
Mentors are.
a mentor figure can be. Someone who's just got that little bit more experience, maybe been there and done it. Not necessarily, I don't necessarily have to have the biggest of businesses, but just to have that experience is, it's worth its weight in gold.
It really is. And at the time, I didn't realise that. And then it's not until I got older and I look back and I think, God, that was probably the best thing that's ever happened to me, meeting Ricky. And I don't know if I've ever told him that, so he's probably hearing this for the first time. But it was just,
nice to hear.
I really needed that at that time in my life. And he was really laid back, and we just, really got on really well. But he was desperate to get out of it, so by the summer he said, I'm really pushing this jet washing now, so what do you want to do? And I bought, when I look back, he probably didn't have that many customers, in all honesty, for the window cleaning. He had about 70, 80.
Okay.
So he dropped a lot of them were rubbish customers that I wouldn't have wanted to take on and things, and he admitted he was cheap as well. So I took on all the 60 customers. I think I gave him, I can't even remember. It might have only been about £1,000 at the time.
Good deal then, even.
Yeah.
So he was ready to just walk away.
He
was so ready.
He would have walked away, I think, and just left them at that point.
Well, that is the alternative in this industry, isn't it? If you can't find someone to buy it,
Yeah.
and you can't service it anymore, or you don't want to service it anymore,
just turn the phone off,
is to stop turning up and
that's
you
it.
get nothing.
He was at that point. I think if he hadn't have met me, he would have just given it up.
Yeah.
And
That's
just
nice.
dropped them all.
Right, Dan, then. So you've just got 60 or 70
Sorry,
customers.
stick that on 110. Yeah.
Dan, you got 60 or 70 customers.
That's it.
How did it go? What happened?
Oh man, so it's all a bit of a blur really, because of what's happened recently. I try and think back and I try and think like what happened in that period, because it took years to build it up. Because I was still living at home at 20. I was
just get that microphone out of your jacket. Go on.
So I was still living at home. I was like 20, 21, 22. The years were going by, and it was slowly building up, organically.
Were you still traditional at this point?
Yeah, so I was traditional window clean for 3 years. I was going up the ladder. I was doing some crazy things, like 3 stories high. I was just like, that's fine.
What, trad?
Yeah. I mean, now it's. I look down at like a 2-story ladder, and I'm just like, I can't. What am I doing up here? But I was
fearless, man. 20s.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
I like getting on a flat roof.
No, that's it. It's you don't. When you're young, you don't think if I fall from here, I'm dead. Do you know what I mean? I just wasn't thinking.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking. So I was doing traditional for 3 years. Then I knew I had to go to I've seen so many window cleans around with the water-fed pole.
Answer me this. So you was trad for 3 years, yeah? What's a good day for you? How many houses could you knock out? Including ladder work, so like normal
All of
just
it,
2-bedroom houses.
Well, I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember. But I remember it being a physical day. It's physically
Knackered,
demanding.
Legs are killing you.
Yeah, I think
I do it a bit too much.
I would say about 10.
Yeah.
If I had to think about it back, I'd say about 10 houses. And I was, these are houses, not bungalows. Proper houses.
10 trad houses.
Yeah, and I'm feeling it. I mean, these are like detached, 3-4 beds. They've got, bay at front, bay at the bottom, bay on the back, on the sides,
Mate, when you went to a water-fed pole, that must have been like getting in a Ferrari.
Yeah,
for a horse.
yeah. But I'll tell you one big thing that happened when I changed to water-fed pole. I had a DIY system. I went to a guy called Dave, who was a local window cleaner. He had 4 vans, and he was really helpful as well. He sold me the pure water. He purifies it all at his base, and I buy it off him. And he was helping me build this system. And it was, when I look back, it was shocking really, because it was ratchet strapped to the van.
Mate, it's like that. We all started like that.
Yeah, and I'm just
rattling like hell.
At the time, I didn't think anything of it. I thought, if I get in an accident here, this is going to come crashing through the bulkhead. Yeah. This is 600 litres of water, which is 600 kilos.
Heavy going.
Heavy. It's not bolted in or anything.
It's lethal.
And then the window cleaner just, that's all right, because it's full. It won't move around or anything. I'm like, oh man. So I had this Citroen Berlingo. To be fair, it was only a 300 litre tank in the Citroen Berlingo at this point, because that's the max weight you can hold in those things. And yeah, it was all budget. You know, it was a shambles really, and it was all breaking down all the time. The battery was going flat. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I never even trained with the waterfed pole.
Just jumped in.
Just jumped straight in. And a lot of the customers, because I was traditional, they were like, "What's this?" I mean, it wasn't new at that point. This is like 2013 now, 2014, somewhere around there. So it wasn't like it was like just came out yesterday.
Yeah. Got
But a lot of people were like, "You've been cleaning the windows traditionally. What's this all about?" And I said, "Oh, no, it's all right. It will dry naturally. It's it's purified
Did you lose
water."
any customers?
Oh yeah. A lot of them were older customers.
Just couldn't get their head around
They
it.
couldn't understand what. So it's wet, but we can just get the hose out and spray it with. It's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what training courses, don't they? Even for waterfed pole. Have you seen?
There's all sorts around.
Yeah.
I my beef with these training courses is that a lot of the time they're from manufacturers that want to sell you a load of stuff.
Yeah.
And they've never cleaned a window in their lives.
Yeah.
And I find that a little bit immoral, in my opinion.
Well,
I'm sure there are some good ones out there from window cleaners.
Yeah. A lot of the suppliers, the guys there, have never actually cleaned windows before in their life, you know. So it can be frustrating. I've had recent problems with. I don't know if I should mention them or not, but a supplier.
The podcast is fine.
Do they not? Well, I'll say window cleaning warehouse. I mean, most people have got a problem with them by the sounds of it.
Yeah, I've had a few problems.
About getting your stuff out after you've bought it.
So I bought this particular product, and I wasn't going to mention this because I don't like bad mouthing people, but I really do think people should know. I bought this. I got hot water now. I've had it for years, window cleaning, and I bought this. You know the pipe, the 5mm pipe that goes into the hose, into the pole. You need a special hot water pipe, otherwise it just goes so soft you can't use it.
Yeah, just busting it.
It's awful if you don't have a hot water one. And I used to get it. I get my stuff from Gardner poles, and they're fantastic. But this time I went with window cleaning warehouse because I needed to buy the univalves and things, and Gardeners don't sell them.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll just go to one-stop shop, get all my stuff from window cleaning warehouse. So I bought this 5mm pole hose that was supposed to be. It says hot water pole hose. It's 50 quid, so it's not cheap.
No, yeah, it's deal.
That's all in with the VAT and that, but it's still 50 quid. I got it back, I started using it, and it's so soft. And I was like, I can't. I fitted the univalve. I put all the connections on. And I can't turn the univalve. When it gets too hot, I can't turn the univalve on and off because the pole's so stretchy.
Does it literally get that hot?
I bought from window cleaning warehouse. I had the same. I don't have hot water. In the summer, it was like that. So just the heat from the sun was making it like that.
Really?
So imagine with hot water.
Maybe it's their quality.
Well,
the quality's not all that.
That's the thing. And then the connection where the 8mm pipe goes into the 5mm pipe, it was spraying out water everywhere. And I've put the clamps on. I mean, I've done this for 14 years, so I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I put the clamps on. They're so tight, I can't tie them any higher, and they're still, because it's gone so soft, it's spraying water everywhere. So I rang.
You don't need that on a job, do you? Looking like an idiot.
Oh yeah, you look.
It's the worst.
Equipment's crap.
Yeah.
So I rang window cleaning warehouse, and I just said, look, this pole hose is not for hot water. I can't vouch for cold water, but this is not for hot water. And he was basically saying, well, we've sold loads of these, we've never had a problem. I was like, well, I'm telling you, there's a problem. And it got to me, it really annoyed me because of his attitude. I don't know who it was, so I'm not bad-mouthing anyone in particular, but the guy on the phone was just like, well, send it back and we'll test it. I was like, yeah, but I've connected all the univalve up now, and do you know what I mean? If I send you this pole hose back, you're just going to say the water runs fine for it. Well, yeah, the water runs fine for it, but when you've got hot water going through it, you can't do anything with it. It's so soft. And he was like, well, we've sold hundreds of these and we've never had a problem.
That's
so he's saying basically
if
it's you.
Have a univalve, then you probably would never
run into that problem.
I thought that, but then it was still spraying out where you connect the 8mm to the 5mm. So anyway, he said send it back and I was like, I'll stuff you. Do you know what I mean? I have to send it back, and it's going to cost me money to send it to you. And
by the time you send it back,
just for him to call you a liar.
Yeah, just for him to then say, no, it's fine, you know. And I was like, I've chopped it all up anyway because I've obviously had to put the univalve in.
Yeah, totally.
So they annoyed me with that. But like I said, I don't want to, that might just be a one-off incident. But you go on.
Someone who watches the podcast reached out to me the other week because they were buying pole hose, and they wanted to know what I used because mine's the X-Line one, and it doesn't kink as much, but it's like super grippy, so it still gets stuck and everything. He said, I'm going to buy this one from Window Cleaning Warehouse. I went, mate, that's expensive. It was like 80 quid for whatever they were buying. I said, just have a look somewhere else. Went on to Pure Freedom, which, as I understand it, are owned by Window Cleaning Warehouse. Same pole hose, same photo, 25 quid.
Weird.
And I said, something must be, like, one must be 100 metres, one must be 30.
Yeah.
Going through it all, exactly the same product, 50 quid difference.
What's that all about then?
Like,
I've heard a lot. I mean, I can vouch. Pure Freedom used to be fantastic. I mean, all my stuff was fitted by Pure Freedom, and I would recommend it to anybody.
Yeah.
Had no hesitation. But now they've been bought out by Window Cleaning Warehouse. I'm not recommending Pure Freedom at all. The guys that used to work there.
I got my double hose reel from Pure Freedom, and that took 6 weeks to turn up. I requested it with rectus fittings on the side, because that's what I used. Came with the normal garden fittings. Called them up. When I ordered it, I was like, yeah, it's fine. Called them up, wrong fittings on. No, we don't do those fittings with the double placement.
Yeah.
Not great. Not great service.
Like I said, it's a shame, but I used to love going to Pure Freedom because it was such like a family. Even though it wasn't family run, it felt like that. All the guys were like lovely, and they all had a good banter.
It's a smaller operation.
It was. Yeah.
I think that's with a smaller operation, you can get that customer service. And I think that's the problem with a lot of manufacturers, whether it be pressure washing. And I've had a number of problems recently, which is why I built all my system myself, because I just couldn't get the service.
Really?
I was calling people up. Yeah. I had at one point I placed an order over the phone. 3 days later, I checked and the money hadn't been taken out. So she took my card details and everything on the phone, and obviously just didn't press send or pay or whatever. And couldn't get a reply back. I made an order with a company for about £8 worth of kit.
Jesus.
Waiting for an invoice to come through, because I just want a breakdown of what I'm spending £8 on. Never came through. Chased them up 6 or 7 times. Yeah, you're on our whiteboard this week. Blah blah blah. Nothing.
Who's this? Is this Window Cleaning Warehouse?
No, this is a pressure washing supply.
Oh, okay.
But I think the bigger they get, the busier they get, the more that customer service drops.
Yeah.
Trying to look after their bottom line, which I get. But they need a couple of admin people to answer phones and take inquiries.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they'll argue that Pure Freedom, the reason why they had to buy it was because it was struggling financially.
Yeah.
And the reason why it was struggling financially because they're doing it all wrong, the business model. And then they've come in and, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I just used to love Pure Freedom. But the guys that used to work there, the fitter, few of the fitters and the salespeople, they've actually all moved to Streamline.
So they obviously weren't happy with Window Cleaning Warehouse either.
No.
Yeah.
And Streamline have bought the old Pure Freedom building in Grimsby. So they're these guys that used to work for Pure Freedom now work for Streamline. So they must be quite good.
Streamline, I think, it's just so expensive.
Is it? I've never looked into it.
Yeah, they're the guys that do the overrate, aren't they? I think.
Yeah.
And they're obviously quality gear, but I've just got, everything's got a value in life, I think.
Yeah.
And certain things, I think people take advantage of the fact that they're one of the only suppliers, and they're charging huge premiums.
Yeah.
Which I just don't agree with. But before we move on, you'll pump that. I'm sure it's pumping out cold air.
Yeah, I thought I was going to warm up. It's a bit chilly, isn't it?
Just keep it on the hot one, Dan, and if you get too hot, just angle it towards the door or something.
No worries. I just done it for the noise, really, to be honest with you.
There you won't. I don't think you'll pick that up.
All right, no worries.
All right. So next question is, what decided you to initially grow the business? So what made you go, right, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to push this now.
So after I got the water-fed pole set up, I've got my system sorted. I probably went 6-7 years just on my own, building up organically.
Oh, you went 6-7 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, water-fed
Well, I've been
pole.
going, since 2011. It'll be 14 years in April next year. It'll be 14 years.
Mate, I don't know why I had this idea. You've done it in like 18 months.
Well,
the growth.
The growth. That's,
right.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's what probably everyone wants to hear about.
Right, okay.
We'll save that bit for the end.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to keep watching. So I went years on my own, and I always just I advertised a bit here and there, but most of it was just organic, which in hindsight is the best way to get it. You know, recommendations, just building up slowly.
How was you advertising now? Like the 6 or 7 years you was going, did you have a Facebook page? Did you want Checker Trade?
I was on Checker Trade, but that has had some. Have you ever used it?
Yeah, I was a great advocate for a Checker Trade.
Are you not now?
When I first joined, I wasn't paying for the basic package. I was paying about £300 a month. I was getting a lot of leads. It was paying for itself 3, 4, 5 times over. Some months 10 times over. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it's because I was recommending it and people were jumping on in this area and everyone like, it's great, give it a go. But the quality of the leads just dwindled to the point where, and then I started getting all these spammy leads that were like for services I don't even offer, or people looking for jobs, and I'm like, I'm paying for like this service, and they're not even vetting them. And so I've bought my package. I'm still on Checker Trade. But
right, that's the thing. Back in the day, Checker Trade was fantastic. I joined in 2015, 2014, somewhere around 2015, somewhere around there. And it was fantastic. My phone just didn't stop ringing. Like, if I wanted jobs, I could cherry pick ones I wanted. But now I do believe they got taken over by a different company.
Oh, really?
And that happened a few years ago. And I've come off Checker Trade complete now because I think it's a complete and utter joke. You'd get sent through jobs, and I mean, I'd get what I found was the customer that was going on Checker Trade wasn't like what they used to be.
No, the quality of them just
I mean, I'd get looking for a regular window cleaner. I got a 4-bed house or whatever, and you'd ring them and say, yeah, that'd be 25, 30 quid, whatever. Oh, okay, I'm just waiting for 2 other quotes. I'm like, it's for window cleaning.
Mate, it's 25 quid,
You know what I mean? If you're getting a big extension for 50 grand, I get it, you're going to get a few quotes. But 25 quid for window cleaning, so if he says 24, are you going to go with him? Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
So that's what I was finding with Checker Trade, that the leads, the quality is just shocking.
Yeah,
it was less about your reputation, which is what they preached on, and it was more about the price.
Yeah.
Because it used to be like, oh, look at all this reviews. He's got hundreds. He's been on here years. I'm going to go with that guy. Yeah. That's what it used to be.
I don't have Bark, but I think from what I can gather, Bark is a complete race to the bottom.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And you pay as well. So like, someone might throw a job out there and say, like, I've got 85 square meters of pressure washing.
Pay for like credits,
and you buy the lead with credits. So I might spend 22 credits on it, which is like £8.50. And then when you pick the phone up, they'll be like, I'm just getting an idea of price, mate. And he's like, brother,
you pay for that.
I just paid for you.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, see, Checker Trade's not quite like that, but I was still, I mean, you're paying 300, that's a lot a month.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
I was getting a lot of leads. It was really good for me. But just as time went on, and maybe it was my fault, but I think as well, if you're paying £300 for a service, I shouldn't have to consistently update my photos and get new reviews to stay at the top of the list.
Well, that was what because they want you to push the Checker Trade name out there, don't they?
But it's I'm paying a lot of money. That should be included. Like if I'm paying 300, someone who's paying 80 shouldn't be above me in the rankings because they've had a more recent review.
Yeah.
It should be. I'm paying more money, I should be, put first, in my opinion. But
when I look at their business model, though, it's a really clever business model because you're advertising for them. They do a bit of advertising, but you're pushing their name out there to customers. You're like, even if they didn't find you on Checker Trade, you're like, would you mind leaving me a Checker Trade review? It's really important, So you're promoting Checker Trade, and you're paying them for it.
Totally. And do you know what I found funny about it as well? Is when I was younger, growing up, and I didn't know about Checker Trade, it says trusted trades, nothing trusted about it. Like you
can falsify your
can falsify everything. All it is public liability. You don't need anything to Checker Trade.
See, that's another thing, because when I joined, a Checker Trade guy came to my house to check me out.
Really?
Yeah, he came round and he was like, so can I see your certificates?
See, that I understand. That's trusted.
That was brilliant.
Yes,
he proved where I lived, he proved I was company and I wasn't just some anybody.
Yeah.
I had all my insurance details. I had to show him everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way it should have been.
Yeah,
he turned up in a Checker Trade car and everything. He had Checker Trade on the car and everything. But I know people you could just log in now and sign up now.
Literally,
if you want.
I've done it on the
you
phone.
You can pay £7 and get public liability insurance, and you're on there.
Yeah,
that's what I find mental.
Yeah,
honestly. And then you can get. All you got to do is create an email address, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you can leave a review.
Yeah.
So you could just spend your day creating email addresses and then leave fake reviews.
Yeah.
Which go down as verified because they've been able to send you an email.
Exactly.
To say, was this you?
They used to ring the customer They used to ring the customer and say, "Is this legit? Is this a legit review?"
And now they just
send a text. They've all they're just cutting corners to save cost by the looks of it.
I guess scalability from the side of scalability as well. You can't do that for 100,000 customers.
No,
but at the beginning, for 1,000 customers, it's much more doable.
I get it. I mean, it is a shame because service does drop when they.
Massively.
Well, I mean, I found that with even at my tiny scale that I got to, that the quality of service wasn't as good as it was.
That's what I say to everyone, though. As you grow, as you scale, something's got to give.
Yeah.
And it's very, very difficult to keep up the level of service when it's not you going to the job.
Oh, yeah.
And you can do as much training as you want, but ultimately, if that person wants to cut a corner, they don't care. It's not their business.
No,
they will cut the corner.
That's the thing.
If they think they can get away with it.
Yeah.
You know, if you knew that they were going to get caught, they probably wouldn't do it. But without you being there, they can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something as you grow. People don't realise. I think, and that's what stops people from growing as well. I think sometimes.
Oh, big time. Yeah, big time. It's just unfortunately, it's not just our industry. It's a lot of industries.
I think it's every industry. As soon as that final or initial quality check comes out of the hands of the business owner, it's your job becomes managing that staff member, and there's only so much you can. If they don't want to do it, they're not going to do it. You know.
The thing is with the window cleaning, I think it's particularly bad because it's a hard job. People don't realise how physically demanding this job is as a window cleaner. To be good and efficient, it's a toll on your body, and you've got to go out in all weathers. You know, if you're sat behind a desk and you're at a call centre, you know, you probably think you've got it quite, you're sat there and the heating's on and get coffee whenever you want.
You don't realise.
You don't get those types of perks in window cleaning.
Mate, even to have a toilet wherever you go.
Yeah.
Mate, the amount of times I've pissed in the back of a van is a joke.
I'll tell you some funny stories about stuff like that, but just stuff like that. You know,
you just completely forget.
I don't know who would want to be, unless you're a sold, I don't understand who would want to be a window cleaner, unless you're the guy doing it, the business owner, in all honesty, but we can get to stuff like that. But so where were we?
You were growing on Checker Trade for 6 years.
Checker Trade, it was going well, and then I realised it wasn't going well on Checker Trade. But that was the only advertising I actually did. I didn't actually do anything else.
Yeah.
You know, I did a little bit of leaflets here and there, but
nothing. You was never pounding it.
No,
100%.
I've never really knocked on doors
to
get up work or anything like that. Well, I have now, but at this time I hadn't. I had never done any of that because I know a lot of people knock on doors, you know, canvassing.
It is the best. It is the best way to grow a business, but
unfortunately,
not for everyone.
Yeah, if you want to get humbled, go knocking on doors. I tell you, that humbles you quick. I did all that, so I'll get into that. But so I went years on my own, and I was quite happy. I was settling down. I started having a family, had a few kids, got married. And I was just like, do you know what? I want more out of my life. Am I going to clean windows by myself for the rest of my life? I'm not too what you got to understand about me is I've got a YouTube channel, but I am a massive introvert. And it's actually like people are shocked how much of an introvert I am. So I actually enjoy my own company.
Is that just like you don't like going out? That's how I understand it.
Yeah, so my wife, she'll be watching this, and she thinks I'm a nightmare. If we ever get invited to parties and stuff, or where there's more than, say, 4 people, I'm just like, I don't want to go.
Does that sound like?
Is that what you're like?
Yeah.
Is that what you're like?
Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere.
I can't do it.
Do you know what he's done? He's taken that much off of his bedroom door, and his bird slides the dinner underneath.
Living the dream, that's what I want to be.
I don't want to go and do anything.
No.
I like my own company.
I
like being at home with my family as well.
I love it, I love that.
Yeah, and that's enough for me.
Yes.
I don't need to go out.
I'm a
drink teetotal completely.
Yeah.
So
that's it. You're the same as me. I haven't had a drink of alcohol for years. I just can't. I'm so introverted. That's why people are so shocked when they see me on the YouTube channel talking to the camera all confidently, and then they meet me in real life. They're like, "What's this about?" I know, honestly, I don't know what it is. I can talk to a camera, but I'm not that great at talking to people, and that was one of my big downfalls when I started employing people. I've got really weird quirks, and my wife knows all about them. She's the only one that really does, but other people aren't so accepting. So I think I've got OCD as well and stuff like that. And to be honest, window cleaning for me is great. I like being on my own. I just stick a podcast in. That's why I'm saying what you're doing is really good.
I think there's a lot of, we touched on this before, that a lot of window cleaners have either OCD or they're just sort of they can be difficult to socialise with people.
Yes.
And that's why they sort of go into window cleaning, because
it's a lonely place if you're not an introverted type of person. A lot of people do get quite lonely doing it.
Absolutely.
Because you're out there on your own all the time. You could meet up with other window cleaners, have a breakfast or something with them, but ultimately you're out there on your own all the time. And you got your own thoughts and stuff, which I really enjoy. That's why I don't think I could ever go and work for a big business.
I don't think all window cleaners can be introverts, because I'd say I'm an extrovert.
Not all of them. But
I still like being on my own. Do you see what I mean?
So you like going out and socialising and stuff like that, but you still like being on your own?
I'd go on holiday. I have been on holiday on my own.
Really?
There's no doubt in my I'd go anywhere on my own, and I absolutely love it. But that's why I like this
when
job.
You go on your own and all.
Yeah, and you leave your phone on. But I like it because I've got like when you was a kid, the best game for me was the triangle. Well, the triangle block goes in the triangle hole.
Yeah.
It's a problem solving, isn't it?
Play with that now.
But it's like a mental problem solving, isn't it? Like never colouring for me. It was always I had to fix something, or Lego I had to build the bridge. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for me now, to be on my own and do them sort of tasks is great for me. That's why I love like flat pack, and like I've got call outs of flat packs. I just put my headphones on, I'm in a room on my own, and I'm just problem solving.
Yeah.
And for me, that's the same as window cleaning and the exterior cleaning.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I'm an introvert, I'd say I'm an extrovert.
Oh yeah.
But it's interesting how
you like the best of both of them.
You can delve deep into it and start breaking down the psychology of it, can't you?
A lot of people can't be on their own.
Yeah.
They really struggle being on their own.
They do. Yeah.
And that in this industry, you just
I find. So I've said this to you, and you might back me up on this. I said this to you when I was still working with people. And sometimes, and it's no disrespect, but you've probably done this before with your missus. You go home and you'll say an idea that you've been thinking of, right? And your missus will go, damn, what on earth are you talking about, And it's just so out there, and she looks at you like, you're a fucking idiot. But you've spent so long on your own, driving around, you've got no one to pull you in.
Yeah, no, that's
true. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, whoa, where did that come from?
Oh my God, the amount of ideas, the amount of ideas I've come home with, and she's like, you're a nut job. Yeah. And I'm like, I know, but
no one said to me, well, hang on a second.
You know what I mean?
And then she points out the obvious, and I'm like, oh yeah, that won't work because of that.
Yeah. honestly.
Yeah, but I enjoy being on my own. That's because a lot of people say, don't you get bored cleaning windows all day? No, I don't.
Yeah, mate, I clean them all night. I know.
Yeah. I mean, I like the physicality of it. It keeps you fit. I like it. For the 10 months when I was trying to grow, I wasn't out there much. And I was getting really depressed sitting in front of the computer, and I was putting on weight, and I just wasn't very happy. I wasn't getting the vitamin D from the sun, and I didn't feel like I had a purpose. Even though I didn't feel like it. I like doing manual work. Do you know what I mean? That's when I realised.
This guy's like us, isn't he? Yeah. Exactly the same as us, mate, honestly.
Yeah, that's what
Someone told me something quite interesting the other day, that Lee Pryor, Lee Pryor.
Yeah,
he was on the tools until he was turning like 250 grand a year. I don't know if that's true or not. But.
Well, a lot of people that used to watch my YouTube channel, I went and met Lee, and he was on the channel. He's a lovely bloke, and that guy has what he's done.
Yeah, he likes us as well.
Yeah. Oh, does he like you? You should get him on.
No, he don't.
Oh, does he not like you?
We asked him to go on.
It's not for everyone. It's definitely not for
that's
well said. Well said.
That's a shame.
It's not. We don't got no hard feelings.
I really like Lee, and I really got on with him, and we've spoken a lot as well. Like not for a while, but we did speak a lot while I was trying to grow, and he had some great advice and stuff. But that man is built differently too.
We've heard great things about
everyone.
Lee's advices.
We would love to talk to him, but he just. He's a bit more grown up than us.
But to do what he's done, what's he got? 20 vans, something like that.
It's a lot of respect for
turnover, isn't it?
One day maybe we'll get to talk to him, but
the way he thinks is so different. When I met him, he gave me some ideas, and I was like, I wouldn't have ever thought that.
Do you think a man like that is born with them thoughts, or do you reckon he's just been almost battered into that? And I don't mean battered as in physically, I mean like he's had so many knockbacks, he's sitting there and he's like, I need to completely rebuild this structure because this is not working.
Do you know what? Yeah, he is built differently. I don't know, because I don't want to talk too personally, because I don't know if he'd want me to talk like that, but I'd just say he is built differently. And he's had, from what I gather, he's had things go on in his life where he's had those moments where he's like, F this, I'm going for it. No one's going to stop me. No one's going to get in my
I
way.
listened to him on another podcast. He sold his house to grow his business.
Yeah.
And that's
that's
That is
a
ballsy.
double down, isn't it?
that's
Yeah,
another level.
that's like,
Yeah.
Did he have a wife and kids living in it at the time?
Well, that's the thing.
I don't think he does.
No.
Doesn't
No.
have any kids.
Not that I'm aware of. He might have a girlfriend or
Yeah.
a wife now, but I didn't. At the time I met him, he
He's
didn't
just
have.
He's all
about
about
it.
the business.
Yeah, he's all about the
Yeah.
business.
And to him,
And it shows, doesn't it?
well, he's well happy.
Yeah.
People think he's not. He's well happy. He's pulled up in a fancy car.
That's
I was
what-
just
that's
like,
what- yeah,
if that's what you want out of life,
Yeah, exactly.
that is go for it. Because what I got with when I made my video about expanding, I was putting a lot of people off. I was like, I need to make a video explaining this might be the best thing you've ever done.
Yeah.
Just because I couldn't do the stress. I've got 5 kids at home. Not a lot of people know that. I've got 5
Well, you're
kids.
Amish.
I got 5 kids. I got a wife, and I got a lot of other stuff going on, like with family. I can't commit 100% of my time to my business unless I want that side of my life to fail, which for me is not an option.
No.
I didn't realise how time, which is stupid, but I didn't realise how consuming it would have been to push the business as much as it was. And the more I look at other people doing it, the more I think and that's not the reason why they've done it, but they don't have those family commitments at home, which is they don't want it.
Yeah,
they don't want it,
yeah.
and not everyone should do that. But they have all the time to focus on that, and I didn't, and that was a big downfall of mine.
Well, I think this goes back to something I've said several times. If you want anything in life, there has to be a compromise somewhere.
Well, yeah,
And growing a business might mean compromising being at home as
Exactly.
much. Or
Do you know
spending most time
a
with your
fantastic quote I read about that? God sells all things at the price of labour.
family. Yeah.
And I love that. You can have anything.
I like
can't
to
you?
say everything
Yeah.
costs something.
Yeah.
That's what I
I
like.
truly believe you can pretty much do anything you want.
Yeah, I agree.
It's what are you prepared to sacrifice?
Yeah. It costs. There's a cost somewhere.
There is.
Whether you like it or not.
There is. The amount of people I've met that are hugely successful, but they don't have any relationship with their kids.
Yeah.
They're like, my kids don't even know me, I don't know them, and I'm gutted for that. But I was so obsessed with growing my business,
Yeah.
and they seem happy, and if they're happy, fair play. But yeah, not for me. I
A
can't.
friend of mine, I spoke to him about it yesterday. He said to me, "You need to go home and spend some time with your kids, mate."
Yeah,
Because he's out early and he's home late. And I don't think he's seen his daughter this week. And I just said, mate, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like,
it's tricky. It's tricky because you can't take once you've had children, you can't then reverse that.
No.
You've got these children for life now. I do think people jump into having children. This is a different subject. No, it's not different subjects. It's all relative.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
I think people jump into having kids too quickly.
Is it at a young age?
Yeah,
Or
or any time.
in a relationship?
Sometimes I just think people shouldn't have kids. In all honesty, if you've got these, there's nothing wrong with not having kids. I don't understand what the problem is with that. People seem to think there's a problem. Like if you're happy and you want to push your business,
Mate, how can you say that? You've got 5.
I know I love having kids. That's the thing.
I've always wanted children my whole life. But some
Yeah.
people just have kids because they've got married.
Well, they
and
feel
their
like it's
wife-
the
next
and their
thing to
wife
do.
wants
Yeah.
or something.
That's where you go with it. Yeah. It's in like they're just a checklist.
Yeah.
It's like we got married, we got the house,
Exactly.
let's have a kid.
Exactly.
The next stage of
Yeah,
life.
I agree.
It's what people think you should do, but I think if you want to be selfish and push your business, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But maybe don't have kids until you've built this business to the point where you don't need to be in it all the time.
I agree.
Or ultimately, at least have a conversation with your partner
Yeah.
about how you think the next few years are going to go. It's going to be tough, but it'll be worth it. It's pros and cons. Don't
Yeah.
just jump into it because it can be trialing, definitely.
Oh God, yeah. I mean,
Massively.
I went through. Me and my wife, we get on like a house on fire. We've never argued ever. But that 10 months I was growing, we were arguing a lot.
Yeah.
And that was real weird because we've never argued. We haven't argued since. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
Mate, it goes to show you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's that time.
It does. It does. And yeah, so there's a lot of things that will play into it growing a business.
Come on in, the 10 months, let's go with it.
Well,
Yeah.
before we get into that, I just want to. There's just a question. It was more of a personal question because I'm looking to grow my business this year.
I saw that on your.
Yeah, so I'm effectively looking to take the path that you took, pretty much. Maybe not so quickly, knowing what we
Yeah,
know now. But the question I wrote down was: did you find there was a point between when it was just you and your first employee? And I know I watched the video, and you were very much focused on getting that second one as quickly as possible. But did you find that between you and the plus one, you were actually earning less money during that small period
Yeah.
because you were having to pay them, train them, spend time?
Yeah, it's a big hit for your money.
Yeah.
You want to build up a bit of savings because you're going to take a big hit. it's so much time involved with training someone. It's so painfully slow. And again, going back to my introvertsy, I'm not great at teaching someone because do you know what I mean? It was all a failure from the start. But I didn't realise how long it was going to take to train someone because I've been doing it for years. I'm like, oh, this is like I could do it in the dark. I could do it with my eyes closed.
And you'd sort of just jumped into it and learned it.
Yeah, but really,
people will do the same thing.
Yeah, but in reality, it still took me a year or so to get any good.
Get it right.
And especially with the speed, you've got to be quick, you've got to be efficient. There's a big hit with money. I didn't take any money out of my business for I didn't receive money for 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't take a penny. I did a little bit of savings.
At what point was this?
So this was when I started to expand.
So when you took the first geezer on, you didn't take a penny?
Didn't take any money.
Yeah.
Do you find that really difficult going from what was, probably a quite, steady ship?
Yeah.
To then not taking any money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live a lavish lifestyle, and I never have, and I never will. I don't have a fancy car or anything like that. Luckily, we got an okay house and we pay our bills, but we don't live like extravagantly.
Yeah.
So if you're a big spender, you're going to be in for a big shock. Luckily, I wasn't too big of a spender, so it wasn't too. I literally don't buy anything. So,
if you don't, do you mind talking about finances?
Not at all.
So, prior to you taking on the fella, I watched your YouTube video. I think you said you was at about 300 before you took on your first member of
300
staff.
customers, yeah.
So what does that equate to in a month, roughly? So are these 4 weekly, 6 weekly?
So I do monthly or every other month.
Okay.
So every 2 months or month.
Nice and easy, 4 and 8 week.
Yeah. Sometimes. So 4 weeks is less than a month, isn't it? But yeah.
So how does the 300 equate to money? As in, what was your months looking like? And you were like, no, babe, we need to hit this. We're enough to get someone else.
So where was I? So I had 300 regular customers, and I'd have like maybe 50, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more of one-off gutter jobs. I do a lot of gutters, a lot of gutters. I didn't realise how many I did until I took someone on who's worked for a previous company, and he was like, "You do a lot of gutter jobs." I was like, "Yeah, I do actually." I didn't realise, but anyway, so I had about 350 customers, and I was at that. I don't know what it was monthly, but I was around the VAT was 85k at this point. To turn VAT registered, you have to earn just over a pound over 85k, and I was always cautious of that because I was there. I was like 83, 82, 84. Right. I was going up and down, and my accountant's like, "You got to be careful. You got a pound over.
Pull you up as well.
You are going to, and you'll get penalised
if you look like you're hiding a little bit to stay under." Yeah,
and I want to mention to people because this is a big thing. I get a lot of people on though because that video that I did actually went quite not viral at all, but it's on like 12.
A lot of people have seen it. Yeah, a lot of people have seen it.
12, 13k views, and I was getting a lot of people saying, "How the hell are you earning that as a window cleaner? How the hell are you?" But have you ever worked out what 85k is? Divide that by 12.
I've got 160 customers and I'm VAT registered.
Yeah.
I should have gone VAT registered last year.
Really?
Yeah.
80k divided by 12.
I don't find it shocking at all.
No.
£6,500 a month probably?
I think a lot of these people do they might have 500 customers, but 400 of them are fronts only.
Right.
£8.
Yeah.
And I don't take them fronts only.
No.
The full houses at a good price.
Yeah.
And obviously I do a lot of pressure washing and roof cleaning stuff, which does bump it up.
Well, they're the bigger ticket jobs, aren't they?
Yeah. But it's definitely doable.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's really not, it's not, people need to start thinking bigger because that's something that I learned years ago. These people with the small mindset that how the hell are you doing that? And the worst one is when you get someone say, "We're in a cost of living crisis. How are you earning it?" I'm like, "Mate, you've been watching too much of the news.
Yeah, you believe so much
You are
shit.
brainwashed by the crap they're putting out there. Just don't be writing comments like that."
I'd like to know what he does.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And I'd like to know what you look like and where you like, because I can just imagine the type of person you are with that kind of mindset.
Massively. I could draw him.
Just
on his comment.
Everything's against him. The world's against him. Yeah.
Mate, there's tons of money out there. Yeah. Don't be watching the mainstream media. I watched it the other night. It said, it started off by going 6 weeks to Christmas. Yeah. Oh, with the cost of living, how's Mary, whatever, going to pay her bills? And I'm like, they are putting you down at every opportunity.
Yeah.
They are making you feel like you're poorer than you are.
So it's very interesting you say this, right? I was over a friend yesterday and we had the news on in the morning, right? And one of them was, the first thing that came up was the farmers striking, about this new inheritance tax. And the next thing was 40% of teachers are washing children's clothes because of they're getting sent to school, and it's nothing about cleanliness. It's about affording washing up tablets.
No,
and I said,
people that shouldn't have kids go
yeah,
back to
and then I thought, but you can watch anyway, and this, that, and the other. And I said to him, if I was a German coming here on holiday and watching this news, I'd think we're a third world country.
Yeah.
The consensus they're pushing is phenomenally bad.
But my brother actually lives in Germany, and they do the same thing there.
Just brainwash you with poverty and shit.
It's shit, and it's so annoying that people fall for this crap.
Yeah, totally.
Because they'll tell you when a business has gone bust. Oh, 2,000 jobs have gone.
But they don't tell you when the business is doing well.
Yeah. So like this, big car companies come over and invest in. They'll maybe say like, oh, flipping Vauxhall have kept 2,000 jobs, and then that'll be it. They won't talk about it. And then, but if a business has gone bust, all they'll do is talk about how many jobs they've lost and all this rubbish. So one thing I will say to people is stop watching that watch it, but just know that they're feeding you this crap.
There was something I heard the other day, and it's like in America, if you're doing well, you drive a nice car, people like come up to you and they're like, well done, you're doing really well. But in the UK, if you're doing well, like you just get shit on.
That's the thing. There is a huge class system in the UK. If you're working class, you can't be doing well according to them.
Even if you're upper class, they don't like it.
No, unless you're...
Someone parked a Lamborghini in Lee or something the other day and someone keyed it.
Yeah, it's like next level. It's unbelievable.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
It's a nice car.
Right, so this is another thing that you've got to think about. Yeah, like when you see these billionaires and they're all in like Monaco, and you're not allowed in there because you're poor, right? You sit there and you go, mate, I fucking understand why they're doing it.
Yeah.
If I had that money, I'd be on a boat away from all you arseholes as well.
Yes.
See my car every minute. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's like, mate, he bought a private island. It's like, you're a dog. It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah. There's so much jealousy. I love seeing people do well. I love it. I don't care how you did it. I don't care. You're doing well. Fair play.
Totally.
As long as you're not like a complete arsehole about it. Like as long as you're not rubbing it down people's faces, saying, "Oh, I've got all this, you haven't got nothing," which none of them do. Do you know what I mean? But they make out that these millionaires and billionaires are horrible people. Without them, you wouldn't have jobs and stuff.
No, exactly.
Mate, the economy's built on these people.
And the funny thing is, it is built on small businesses as well. Yeah. And the government are taxing small businesses far too much. But I'm not an expert, but I know from my experience with the VAT, taxing turnover taxes are awful. I understand taxing profits, but why would you tax turnover? You might not even be making any money.
That blows my mind as well.
Yeah, it doesn't actually make any sense.
It makes no sense.
Doesn't make any sense. And national insurance is a turnover tax as well.
Yeah, see, I got hit with that, and because I was paying, when I took guys on, they were PAYE, none of them self-employed, because I was told, you start doing that, they're going to come down on you, you should be employing these people.
Yeah, you would,
if they're solely working for you, they're wearing your branding and stuff, they're employees, and they need the benefits of holiday pay, sick pay, national insurance, pension contributions. There's a hell of a lot to come out when you start employing people, and I didn't realise that. Foolishly, I did look into it, but I thought I could manage it. I thought if I go for volume, I'll just soak all these costs up, which it does work if you go with volume. But have you got the freaking brain to stay in it? Like, have you got the stress level to maintain that?
Yeah, because you might go from making 40%, 50% margin on your own.
Yeah.
To all of a sudden doing 10, 15% margin.
Yeah,
but
it drops.
You need to go and quadruple your turnover.
Yeah.
To be making the same sort of...
I see window cleaning companies and I see them with 2-3 vans and I think, what is the point? Go big or don't do it.
Yeah. So this is so interesting. We need to talk about this, right? Let's get into it because this is good. Right. So you're at just under the tax VAT threshold, right? And then you're sitting there thinking, right, let's bring someone on.
Well, initially, right, 85k. I need to get to like 110k, and then you're basically at the same sort of place because the VAT. So I need to go well past that 110 or whatever I worked out as. It was like 108 or something. So I need to be going like 150, 160. To even make this worth it. And I thought with 2 guys, me and another guy, that ain't enough. I need another guy, and then I need another one. So I got obsessed. So we'll start. So January 23 came round. During the Christmas period, I said to my wife, I'm going for it. I've got a bit of savings. She's good as gold. I mean, she said, I trust whatever you want to do, as long as you don't
love that energy. Yeah.
As long as you don't sell the house and stuff.
Yeah, as long as you come over at the end of the day. Yeah.
Well, like don't go sell it for a tin of beans or anything. But so I said I'm going to go for it, and trust me, I'm going to make it work. And she said, yeah, fine, just do what you need to do. So January came around, I was like, put my job ad out straight away. I got no one. no one wants to work outside in January. Do you know what I mean? January, February.
We don't even want to work outside.
I know.
It's our business.
I know. And I was looking at how much I could pay someone, and I was like, would I work outside for that sort of money? But anyway, so February came around and I got someone on.
What was the logic behind his wages? Would you just go, no, just cheap and cheerful, or I want like a sensible work?
I can't remember. I know you pay peanuts, you get monkeys.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying minimum wage because it's not a minimum wage job. But
it's not brain surgeon money.
it's
either.
not.
Yeah.
So that's why window cleaning is really difficult to scale. Any type of cleaning is really difficult to scale because there's really not much margin there.
No.
Someone said it on one of my videos. He wasn't a window cleaner, but he said there's just not enough meat on that bone to go round at that level unless you get to 20 vans or something. But 2-3 vans is just, I don't understand what you're doing there. Either go to 6-7 vans or just go back to yourself. Maybe have a guy on board to lighten the load a bit. But even then you've got a lot of problems with the turnover. But yeah, so I got to February and I took someone on, and I could tell you some real funny stories. Like, I'm freaking weird, but so I took someone on, and I got this van. I bought a van in January. I forgot to add that. I went out and bought a van because I thought, I don't want this guy.
So this is dipping into savings now, isn't it? On your podcast, you said dipped into savings.
Yeah, I had a bit of savings, which was actually, I'll just be honest, it was actually my pension fund.
Right, okay.
It was not a pension, it's the S&P 500 that I was, so I was taking out of there.
This is one of my questions. So buying and kitting out the van, was that a decision made? Was that drawing that was all from your savings, or did you use some of the business's money and turnover?
I had a bit of money in the business.
A bit of money in the business and a bit of savings as well.
Yeah, and a bit of savings. So I bought the van on finance.
Yep.
Which I'm not against. I think finance is great. I don't have a problem with finance.
Mate,
as long as the rate's all right. What's the problem?
Mate, everyone with a bit of money in this world buys stuff.
Why would you buy
not anything cash?
No. So I haven't got a problem with the finance. But what I did have a problem with, in hindsight, the van was too nice.
Yeah.
The van was 15. It might have even been 16 grand plus VAT.
I remember you saying
far
this,
too nice to give to your first employee. You want to go down and get like a 5-6k van.
Yeah.
You know, that's got 100,000 miles on it. This was a new Vauxhall, not new. It was a few years old, but it was a Vauxhall Vivaro, new shape.
Was it better than the van you're driving?
I didn't like it, in all honesty.
Really?
I didn't like because my van's the older van, which is higher up, and this van's lower, and I just didn't like. It was a nicer van. If you put them up against each other, most people would pick the one I bought. Yeah. But yeah, so I went out and bought it, and I got it all on finance. I had to pay the VAT, which isn't a problem because I'm VAT registered now. So I'm like, we're claiming it back. But, so I went out and bought the van on finance, and I had this payment coming out. So then I went and kitted it out at Pure Freedom. And that's when I found out the freaking window cleaning warehouse took over. So that was the last time I ever went there. So I bought the van, kitted it all out. It was ready to go. And then my guy came in. He was with me for a couple of weeks in the van. In hindsight, he was... thing is, what you have to understand is I had this job ad out for a while. I had a lot of time wasters sending me their CV, and I'm like, it's just, you know what I mean? You've never done outdoor work before. I was looking for someone that might have been like a landscaper, or
totally.
You're just someone that doesn't mind getting their hands dirty. Yeah. This guy came along. I had a few people come along, but they just didn't turn up to the interview or something.
Fantastic.
Shocking, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Mate, it's unbelievable.
It's just weird.
Fucking
I'm
hell,
sat there because I haven't got an office or anything, and I was just like, should we meet at Costa down the road? And he was like, yeah. I'm just sat there. He ain't fucking coming, is he? Feels like I've stood up on a date or something. I was just sat there with coffee, and I was like, that happened about 2 or 3 times.
Did you touch the glass at Costa?
I was like, oh God, so this is good stuff.
It's raining.
So I was just like, this guy's turned up. He's not my type of guy. We had nothing in common. Do you know what I mean? I'd never socialised with this bloke outside of work, but he turned up and he seemed keen. So I was like, I'll give you a go. And this is when I knew I was a bit weird, because he turned up in jeans, like to my trial day. And what I did was I met him on the interview. I said, do you want to just come and have a go for a day and see if it's something you really want to do before you commit? And he was like, yeah, all right. So he turned up and he was wearing jeans, like you would go out like wearing clubbing jeans or something, like if you go to the club. And anyway, I was like, it doesn't matter because it's your trial day, just whatever. And then he wanted the job in the end, so I said, all right, you can start next week if you want. He's like, yeah, I'm not doing anything. which is
That's handy.
yeah,
Got what things to say.
yeah, I know. So I was like,
Imagine he was like, let me check my diary.
Good job you ain't got work next week, innit?
so yeah, he just turned up, and I don't want to diss anybody. This is more my weirdness than anything. It's not him. It's I'm weird. Like he turned up in the same jeans.
So we'll get him on next week.
Yeah, I know. You're right, yeah, he's a fucking weirdo. That bloke.
Charity boxing match at the end of the year.
And yeah, he turned up again, and he's wearing these clubbing jeans. Well, that's what I called them. I was like, oh mate. What I'll do is I'll get you a top, I'll get you a jacket, I've got it all here ready for you. Do you want to put this on? I said, but in future, have you got any sort of, I like wearing like black trousers, like cargo trousers, you know, it just looks a bit more professional. If you've got any trade trousers, they're fine. And he's like, oh yeah, I've got all that, sorry, I didn't realise this. I was like, that's all right, it's only your first day and that. Like, I said, if you haven't got them, just let me know and I'll go and get you some. Anyway, he turned up the next day with the same jeans on, and I was like, after I go into my office, have you seen what he's fucking wearing? He's wearing those fucking jeans, and my wife's like, why are you getting so bothered about these jeans? I was like, I don't know, but it's annoying me.
Yeah, that would do my
I was like, I was like, I said, mate, I said, did you not have any trousers then? He's like, oh yeah, no, I couldn't find them, but I know they're somewhere. I was like, I'll just go and get you some, it's not a problem. He's like, no, my wife's found them or something. And I was like, oh, all right then. So he came in the next day in the jeans, and I went to my wife. I said, "No,
I see it last day, mate. You're gone."
I said, because I'm not very good at like confrontation, and I just, for some reason I felt a bit sorry for him, and I was like, look, I'm going to go and get you some trousers. He's like, no, they were in the wash. They're in there tomorrow, and I was like, oh. So anyway, he came in the next day. He was wearing the jeans again. So I said, mate, we need to sort these jeans out, and I was getting really weird about it. And my wife's like, yeah, you better not like employ anyone else because you're getting really weird about these jeans that he's wearing. I was like, mate, I'm a weirdo, and I'm like, no,
you're not a weirdo, mate. No, you're not a weirdo.
Uniforms.
Yeah. So I went out that day. I bought these jeans from fucking hell. I bought these trousers from wherever. They were trade trousers, really smart ones. I said, what waist do you? 34. Went and got them. He put them on. They looked like they'd been clown trousers because they were too big. He was like a 30 or a 28. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So he's walking around in these clown trousers.
Mate, your red flag counter in your head must be screaming.
Mate, yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, mate.
But I was desperate because he was the only guy. This is all my fault, but he was the only guy that was willing to come and work.
Yeah.
You're trying to make, trying to mould him, and he's just like.
Because when I've got an idea in my head, I just want to go for it. I'm like, I don't want any more time. Like, I have to go and find someone else. In hindsight, I should have waited. Mate, this job's not for you. We're not compatible. We'll end it here, shall we? That's what I should have said after day 2 or 3. Because he wasn't, I could see he worked outside, but he wasn't great. And I was like, look, let's just call it a day. That's what I should have said. There's plenty more fish in the sea. But anyway, so we got this jeans issue out of the way, and he was wearing proper trousers. Yeah, he eventually turned up in his own trousers, right? But I knew, I kind of had it back in my head. I was like, I need to get over this shit because that shouldn't bother me as much as it's bothered me.
You're punching the steering wheel in the van.
Yeah, I was going nuts on my wife. I was like, son of a those bloody jeans.
Shadow boxing.
I had people on those video comments saying you must have been a nightmare to work for. I'm like, no, I thought I was too nice in all honesty. I was playing the nice guy, like, and I shouting at behind the scenes, but not at anybody. I wasn't ruthless enough. But anyway, he came in and he eventually was all right. He looked smart once he got all the trousers sorted out. And I'm going to make myself look really bad, aren't I?
Mate, you're good as gold.
I would be the same.
I'm just trying to be honest.
Do you know what it is? It's not the trousers. It's the fact he lied to you like 4 days on the bounce.
Yeah.
It's like if you're going to wear them, but don't make me out to be an idiot.
Yeah,
be like,
I know.
Oh no, look, they're still in the wash. Do you see what I mean?
I know. I feel like such a mug at that point. So anyway, I was training him up. He only stayed in my van for 2 weeks because I was desperate because I was getting like all these phone calls coming in. It was like March now. And I was getting the phone calls, it kind of starts, it depends when the weather breaks, doesn't it? But when that sun starts coming out in March, you're going to get some phone calls, aren't you, for gutters and stuff.
Yeah.
People want their spring clean done. So I needed to get him in his own van as quickly as possible, which is a big mistake. He should have been in my van for at least 2 or 3 months. So he could get to know all the customers, because I only had 300, but 300, he could have got to know them all, really, and they would have all seen his face.
You visited them all within 3 months, didn't you?
Within 3 months, you would have been to pretty much all of them. And so he came. He was only with me 2 weeks, and I sent him out on his own. The van was completely all kitted out, lovely spec. No electric hose. It was all manual, but it was a bit basic. But to a lot of people, that's quite high spec because it was all proper.
Bolted in on all.
Yeah, it was all bolted in. It was all. We had the nice water fed pole and stuff, and he had everything he needed. The van was all sign written. It was a lovely van, and
you done the works for him.
I
really?
did, yeah, I did. This was my life. I did nothing else other than think about how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that with work? So I was depriving my time for my family and stuff at this point. But I was like, it's only temporary. I'm going to get through this part. And then so the months went on, the weeks went on, and he was out there on his own, and I was getting all these complaints, and I was like, what's going on? They were like, Dan, where are you? Who's this bloke? But the thing is, I notify all my customers before I come, like most people do, you know, with what software do you use?
I use Squeegee. You're on Squeegee now.
Are you on Squeegee? Yeah, I tried to move over to Squeegee, and I was like, this is like so complicated.
Yeah, it was for me when I was on Cleaner Planner originally.
I'm on Cleaner Planner, yeah.
It's much more basic, but the reason I moved is because... Yeah, if it don't go well, it don't go well. What can you do? We've still got the meaty bit that everyone wants to know about is how you built your business.
Well, I mean, it's up to you. I mean, we can start again, but I can just speed up a lot of other stuff.
No, let's just finish it off.
Yeah.
And then do just a very quick beginning, like a 10-minute beginning.
Yeah.
If it all goes peaked on.
Yeah.
Right. So sorry guys, we had a bit of a technical one with the camera. So we're gonna just
fingers crossed it's fine.
We're just gonna quickly recap. So Dan here, obviously.
We don't know where it cut off.
We've got up to this point where Dan was on his own. He's up to 300 customers. He's made the jump now, and he's got a young person on his team. He's just bought him a van, kitted it all out. He's going out on his own, and he started making mistakes.
Well, that was the thing as well. You can't. I found that you have to be over 25 as well for the insurance on the vans.
Yeah.
So you can't be employing anyone under 25 if you want them to drive that van. Which I found out, which I wasn't too fussed about, because I ideally wanted someone over 25 anyway, because they should have a more mature head on their shoulders.
Yes.
Should. So we went out on his own, and I was getting tons of complaints. Not all of them were complaints. They were just like, where are you, Dan? Are you not doing it anymore? They just thought that I'd sold the business or something. They weren't really up to date with what was going on, which was another mistake I should have said. Or sent a mass email saying, this guy's coming. Although I did let them know on the text the night before that it's not going to be me cleaning your window. Your windows are due to be cleaned by, and I put a different name. So I assumed that they would put two and two together and be like, okay. But again, I should have maybe emailed them to say, I'm expanding. You might see a new face at the door. And a lot of these customers obviously all knew me. I built up quite a relationship with these people. Not all of them, but as you you get coffees, you have a little chat with them.
Yeah, of course do.
You build up a bit of a... Sometimes I was like, they're kind of friends, but I don't think like that anymore, because they will drop you within a heartbeat, a lot of them. So don't ever think that your customers are your friends. You can be friendly, you can be like, oh, look at the weather, all this lot, but don't go too friendly with customers. I've learned that over the years. Because they're not your friends.
That's what I was trying to say at the expo.
Yeah.
So summed that up much better than I did. I basically said I don't give a shit about my customers. But what I was trying to say was what you just said.
Yeah, just offer a professional, reliable service.
Be friendly.
They're
not your friends.
They don't go into too much detail about your life or their life, That's what I've learned. So obviously they were shocked to see another guy at the door, and they were asking him, who are you? What's going on? Where's Dan? And he then had to explain who he was, which was like, he wasn't comfortable doing that. And he was like, did you not tell him? I was like, I did. I just obviously didn't tell him well enough. So then I had to send out a mass email after a little while. I realised this is going to be a recurring theme. So I had to send out a big email saying that I'm still window cleaning. But I am expanding. Thank you for your support and all this stuff. The months rolled by. This is like March. It's still a bit cold. He was, in hindsight, I didn't train him well enough to begin with.
Just to interject, Dan, sensibly, you said in your YouTube video that along this point that you was not really earning much out of him.
No.
Right. But what was your anticipation to earn out of him?
Well, I did initially think he's not going to be earning me anything at the start. I didn't think it would go on for as long as it did.
Right. Okay.
I kind of thought, within a month, surely he's going to be good enough.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why I thought that when it took myself, like I said, maybe even a year.
Yeah.
And I'm the guy that does it. I'm the business owner. I've been quite quick at learning this stuff. But for some reason, I thought, it'll be good enough in a month to be at least giving me a little bit back. But it took months. I mean, I reckon it took 4 5 months.
Before he even started paying for
Before I
himself.
could really, you might have had the odd day where you've earned a little bit off him, but not nothing to make up for the stress and the crap you were going through. So yeah, that was a big naivety of my part that the whole sum up of the whole situation was I was trying to run before I can walk. I like that summary because I didn't go through the right paces slow enough. I went through the right paces, I think, just not slow enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, where were we? So yeah, I mean, the phone's ringing, and what I'll say is, because I've had a lot of people ask me, well, how the hell did you get so big so quick? Like, well, not so big, but how did you like double in size?
I've got you. Just for the numbers, just for the camera. I've got you down as here. You said you was at 300, and then you got to 750, 800 in 10 months.
Yeah.
So that's quite a feat, isn't it? Nearly 500 customers in 10 months.
Yeah. I want to say I was taking on pretty much everything.
Yeah.
That was another mistake. These types of jobs, if I was on my own, like now, I wouldn't even entertain them.
So what sort of budget and how was your advertising? And where was your advertising?
So I reckon I spent about 30,000 in the 10 months on advertising.
Mate, that is giant.
Yeah,
that is absolutely giant.
People don't realise it's I get a lot of comments like, oh, I just want to grow a little bit. It's like, you're not going to get anywhere by sending out 1,000 leaflets, 2,000, even 5,000.
Total rubbish.
It's total waste of time.
Totally.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
That was my attitude.
Leaflets is about 1 customer per 1,000 leaflets.
Yeah, and that's if your leaflet's a good design and you're right there on the phone as soon as they ring. You know, to get that phone to ring, you have to spend money.
Where did you pump that money?
You're looking at about £3,000 a month, right? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I was doing more like campaigns, so like I would be a big splurge in certain times of the month,
right?
You know, or maybe within a certain month. So it was everywhere: Google, Facebook, leaflets, canvassing. I went out knocking on doors for the first time ever because I'd never done that.
How did you find that?
Oh, like I said, humbling. I thought. I've been doing this years. Like I've never had to go and knock on the door to get any work. I've never had to. So it's almost like it hits your ego a little bit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, mate, totally. And what? And if you was to draw like a ring around all your work, what was the
radius?
Yeah. Pardon me. Yeah. Radius. Over 10 miles.
15 miles, I reckon. Yeah, 15.
Mate, you had a real good run.
Yeah.
Yeah. 800 people in that.
Yeah. I mean, I was relentless. That's one thing I will say about me. Once I've got something in my head, I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And then I drop it as quickly as I start it.
So what month did you start this campaign, this 10 months?
From about, not the second he joined, probably March, April.
Right, from March, April, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, and then when did the number 2 come along?
End of June.
Yeah.
Or was it June, July?
So how many customers do you think you'd added between April and June to warrant that second staff member, or did you just sort of think, with two of them, I'm covered?
I was still working on the tools, obviously, when there was only 2 of us. I was going off doing the gutter jobs, not the one-off cleans, the first cleans, making sure I get all that done. And he was looking after the main round. And then I was getting to the point where I'm too busy doing this. Like, I need to maybe, I need to get off the tools. Because you hear that all the time, like, if you want to grow, you've got to get off the tools. That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
So it literally is that. You do have to get off the tools. You cannot grow your business while you're working as a window cleaner. Like, while you're on the tools, it's impossible. Because you're doing a job here that's worth, you could pay someone 25, 26, 27 grand. You need to be going doing jobs that are going to pay you a lot more than that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to get the work in. So yeah, you have to get off the tools. That's one thing I will say. It's really difficult to grow a business, any business, if you're on the tools. Because there's only so much time in the day, isn't there?
Absolutely. So you were doing Facebook, Google Ads, leaflets, canvassing.
Yeah.
Out of those 4 main ones, I'm assuming, what did you find the best response you were getting from?
I was doing 50,000 leaflets a drop.
Yeah.
You know, that's big compared to most people.
Mm-hmm.
That's not big compared to your Lee Pryors and things where he's doing $250,000.
Yeah.
Is that
or whatever he's doing. He's doing a lot.
That must turn up on a lorry.
Yeah, it does.
You'd be surprised, I'd say, how little amount of boxes 250,000 leaflets.
I don't know. When they turn up on my door, I was like, holy crap, where am I going to put this?
It's a pallet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on a pallet. Yeah. And I was doing like 60,000. And I was pumping the money in to do that. Taking that risk, because it's a lot of money. I don't know if anyone's ever done that sort of scale.
I'm looking at getting 20,000 printed and it's like £800-ish, 900, and then to be delivered probably another 1,200 quid.
Yeah, maybe more.
Yeah.
Depends who you're going to go with, doesn't it? But
Who
leaflets.
are you using? Were you using independent or?
I was using Royal Mail.
Yeah.
But
Oh, can you get them to do that?
yeah, it's a
little bit more expensive.
It's expensive, and it's gone up in price since I did it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to go in there with like 5,000 leaflets.
No.
You need 10,
Bundles.
20, 30,000.
I think the minimum they do now is 8,000.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're prepared to spend the money, you will get it. You know what I mean? You've got to spend it. You've got to spend money to make
What
money.
do you think you was finding on the leaflets? About 1 in 1,000?
No, that seems a bit high. That I reckon it's even less than that.
Really?
Yeah. You do have to go full on scale with the leaflets.
Yeah.
People don't realise.
What and then the rest was Facebook and canvassing. all the
Yeah,
rest of it?
Facebook. I never really did paid advertising. I was just pushing a lot of stuff. I was joining a lot of groups, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What sort of budget would you say a campaign would cost you then? Just to kind of like, if you was doing say 50 customers a month, how much do you reckon that 50 customers actually cost you?
50 customers.
As in you grew 500
Oh,
in
okay.
2 months. I suppose you could cut the 30 into just £3,000 per 50 customers, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's 10 times more than you think. It's
Yeah.
because what you're planning on is getting these customers for a long period of time.
Yeah.
So my average customer value per customer is around £30.
As in what you spent to get them, or what
no,
they
sorry,
spent with you?
what their value is to me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is around the £30 mark per clean. So, and we do mainly 2-month cleans. So you do 6 times 30, whatever that is. So you need to work, it costs a lot to purchase. You're basically buying a customer, and it costs a hell of a lot. And I was knocking on doors, I was relentless knocking on doors. And you just get so many no's.
Do you get a lot of work from knocking on doors?
Yeah, you do, yeah. But I found them a bit like, we'll and then,
Come home from the end of the day just like deflated.
I'm knackered, and I'm like, there must be an easy way. But that's what people are asking me. How did you get? There's no easy way. I wish I could say like, oh, if you do this, you're guaranteed. There is no easy way.
I speak to a lot of people that, because I'm at the moment I'm doing a lot of Facebook marketing, which is working quite well. And I've had 4 or 5 people reach out and say, look, I'm trying to do it, but it's not working. And the first thing I say to them is like, how much are you spending? And they're like, £5 a day. I'm like, it's not enough.
It's not enough.
I'm doing £20 a day, and I don't think that's enough.
No.
I'm just trying to work out
That's
what
it.
areas are the
Yeah.
sort of best at the minute, and then we'll be looking at doing £1,000 a month or £1,000.
It's what we got to do. I mean, is that for your route? Is that for jet washing or window cleaning?
That's for window cleaning.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm just doing window cleaning marketing at the moment.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to, from listening to people, talk to people, listening to your videos, I'm finding building a business on scale needs that subscription-based model. So if I were marketing for pressure washing jobs, yes, I'd have that bigger one-off hit, but I would need 10 times as much work to warrant taking someone on.
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
I can get, and it's a lower ticket sale. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to upsell them something.
Yeah.
Gutter clean, softening facial clean to that person. I like someone to spend £500 a year with me.
Okay.
That's what I like them to be worth. And most of the time that works based on my turnover and how many customers I've got. Works out roughly.
Do you know what your average customer value is?
Not exactly, but
Because that's a good thing about Cleaner Plan. It does actually tell you.
No.
I don't know if Squeegee does.
I don't know. I haven't looked at it.
Yeah.
But
It's an important number to know.
I try to get people to spend £500 a year with me.
Right.
But whether they stick around a year or not, because some customers. So I've got customers that are worth more than that just on window cleaning.
Really?
Yeah, a couple of like £60 cleans.
Yeah.
And they're monthly.
I suppose,
or
yeah,
four
yeah,
week
yeah.
cleans, 13 cleans in a year.
Yeah.
And then I've got customers that are like £18 a clean every 2 weeks, every 2 months.
Right.
Because they've got like a tiny little flat or a little bungalow. And it's like that customer needs to spend a lot more to be worth the same value as the other customer. So it averages out at £500 a customer.
Right.
But some customers will be £300,
yeah,
some
more or
customers will be
less.
£1,000.
The average, that's what an average is. I mean, not all my jobs are £30,
No.
Some are 25, some 20. Well, actually, no, to be fair, my minimum charge now is 20. I think people as well on the comments, again, thinking small, you know, you're 20 quid for God's sake. What can you buy in life now
Nothing,
for 20 quid?
absolutely nothing.
You know, a service.
Yeah.
What service can you buy for 20 quid? To someone to come to your house in their van with all their equipment,
Oh yeah, and their water.
their water,
That's what I meant,
their
yeah.
time.
It costs more than that for a call out when they don't do anything.
I was trying to explain to someone, I don't know why, but I was trying to explain to someone on the comments on the YouTube. He said, how the hell, because it was a video I did, it was about £8 for the window cleaning. This
The
old boy
retirement,
retired,
yeah.
it was £8. And I said, you know, this house is actually £28. And he said, oh, I can't, if you're only there, I don't know where he got 10 minutes from, but he said, I can't justify charging £25 or whatever he said for 10 minutes work. I was like, you're thinking like an employee.
Yeah.
I said, stop thinking like that. Because it's 25 quid, and you should, the amount of stuff that has to come off that. And he's like, yeah, but if I've got all the neighbours, then I don't have to. Yeah, but they're not
What's that
guaranteed.
got to do with
No.
it?
Yeah, that's what he was trying to say. And people used to say that to me, yeah, but I've got the whole road, so I can charge less. Well, you're not always going to have the whole road, are you? What if some drop off and then you're stuck there with this
It doesn't
crappy
make
pay?
that one clean any cheaper
No.
to do. Like, whether you've got the whole
Yeah.
road or the whole.
It doesn't.
whole of the UK,
I'll never.
just
I've got
jobs
houses.
cost the same amount.
Yeah, I've got houses where I've got 5, 6 on a road, but the amount of times where like, oh damn, we can't do this time because we've got building work going on.
Yeah.
And like, well, you can't do that house now, so it's not like. In a perfect world, yeah, you would have the whole road, wouldn't you? And you wouldn't ever have to move, you know? You wouldn't have to move the van, but
This seems wild.
it doesn't work like that, and people seem to think it does. And you know, I've been in this game long enough to realise that it does. You know,
totally.
you need to charge correctly, otherwise you are working your guts out for nothing. I mean, I don't understand people doing it for under, you know, £10, £12. I just don't get it. That's what I got off Ricky when I started.
Beer money, innit? It's beer money.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
There's no way that you're building anything with that.
That's the problem with the window cleaning industry and most cleaning industries. It's a very easy industry to get involved in, and it's very low barrier to entry.
Yeah, low cost.
So
entry,
you're
yeah.
going to come up against these people for the rest of your time, and that's
You
something.
can, sorry to interrupt you, Dan. Mate, you can see them when you're driving around. You know the beer money people, didn't you? It's
but
at the
I'm
back of a
surprised the
smashed up
customers don't
car
see
worth
it.
300 quid, trainer's hat, you know
Would
what
you
I mean?
want someone like that around the back of your house?
No, not at all.
Some customers only care about the price.
I'm shocked though, because some of these houses are nice, and I see this window cleaner doing it, and I'm like, I wouldn't like that guy around the back of my house. I've got kids, I've got dogs, or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want him around the back of my house. I don't know who the hell he is.
I find the bigger houses are the ones that usually care more
Yeah,
about
I
the
know.
price.
I know.
They're just tight, and that.
Yeah.
They've got a big house.
I know. I just think there should. I mean, I wish there was like you had to be certified.
Yeah.
And I wish that were about all trades. You know, when you're a gas plumber, you have to have a certificate to say you're a gas plumber. Electrician, you have to have this thing to say that you've done the courses and stuff. And window cleaning, obviously, it's not a trade as such, but you need to be CRB checked and stuff like that. You could be a convicted
Yeah, it could be
whatever,
anything. Yeah.
and you're around the back of someone's house.
Mate,
And
talk to him about it.
Yeah, I just wish there was more laws and regulations involved, but that's never going to happen.
No.
Never going to happen.
It's an unregulated. Isn't it?
It's an unregulated industry. I mean, I have heard in Scotland they do it, but apparently it costs 15 quid or something to get a license.
Yeah, it's a license.
And no one
with a
checks.
council, isn't it? Yeah.
Who the hell's going to check?
But if you get caught, it's like pretty serious.
Is
fine.
it?
I think
Yeah.
3 or 4 grand fine.
Right,
So it's like better to just have the license
right.
than not.
I just think with the window cleaning industry, you're always going to come up against that, unfortunately.
I
There's
think
nothing you can do about it.
in every industry. I think even gas engineers.
Really?
There's people doing it dirt cheap.
Yeah,
You know, service your boiler for 20 quid. You'll
Yeah.
find it. You
Yeah.
know, and they've got the qualification or not.
really. I didn't know it was that like that.
Yeah, electrician, the same thing.
Yeah.
There'll be some guy who's been doing it 30, 40 years, doing the same thing, never upped his prices, comes around, tests it live on his tongue or whatever. You know, like,
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, there's nothing you can do. So you have to pull up or shut up. You know what I mean? Just pull up with it.
But like it goes, you never see someone who's like dead set on their pricing, like charging well, going, I just can't get enough work.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen.
No.
It's
but
always the ones that don't charge enough.
I know,
can't get enough work, I'm
They
struggling
don't see
for
the
work.
problem here. The problem is you're valuing yourself far too low.
Yeah.
If someone came to my house and said, you know, we had a guy come and clean our oven. He was 40 quid. I was like, £40? You clean the oven and the microwave?
As well.
I bet
He
it
was
was
there,
spotless,
he was there
wasn't
for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was like, mate, you're charging £20 an hour to be self-employed without any benefits of employment.
And I'm sure there's chemicals and stuff. They
Yeah,
use in-
and you're getting no holiday pay, no sick pay.
Yeah.
Your tax has to come off that. That's if you're paying tax. I just don't understand how you do
to
it.
pay taxes.
There was,
No.
I had one of the watchers reach out to me. recently, and he was just asking me advice on something. And I was having a conversation with a chat with him, and he said it was about pricing something that he's not done before, yeah? Anyway, he's reached out to me. He knows who he is, because obviously we've had this conversation recently. And it was like, it was a roof clean. And he asked me to price it, and I think it came in at just over £1,200. And I said to him, look, you know what you're doing, but you've never done one before. I said, why don't you just knock on the door and say, I'll do it for £1,000, let me cut my teeth on it. I'll probably, let's allocate 4 days, I'll probably have it done in 3, yeah, and just have the conversation.
That's what we've done.
Yeah, and just like nice and easy. And he said the neighbours reached out to him. He shot the message over. Bearing in mind he was going to empty all the gutters, wash all the windows down, he was going to do a good job, right? And it was a big old roof, and he said, oh, the neighbours, texted it over. She texted back and said the neighbour said that the one next to hers had hers done for £230.
There's loads of them
right?
out there.
And then he said to me, this can't be right, mate, like you've given me the wrong information. And I went, no. I said, just hold up, you don't know what he's doing. I said, I can tell you now, the chemical he needs to buy is a oneer, right? So take £100 straight off of that. Is he doing it for £130? And then he said, no, she's already had it done. And I said, right, ask her, from when did she call him, when did he turn up?
Yeah.
She called him at night, and he turned up the next day at 8 o'clock. I said, what does that tell you? He's got no work.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I didn't realise that. And I went, if you think about it logically,
Yeah, a
he's
lot of
scratching.
customers, they haven't run a business or anything. They haven't been, they don't understand how things work like that. Because how the hell would you clean a roof for $230? I mean, even I know that, and I don't clean roofs. I've been tempted to get into it, to be fair, since I've done it. Do you not think? Nah. There's so many people doing it now.
Like,
not that that's a big issue.
I think once I start growing, I'll have to take it off my service list, because
I wouldn't trust guys and my employees cleaning roofs.
It's a difficult job to have someone doing where you're not, looking after them. Well, insurance is in place and whatnot. There's a lot that can go wrong.
Yeah.
It's nice to have that hit into the bank account, but 9 times out of 10, it's not. You could earn more money window cleaning. So I'd find like a £1,200 roof clean would be over like maybe 2 days. You'd probably get it done in a day if you wanted to, especially in the summer with longer days, but it's a hard day.
Yeah.
So I don't do the hard days anymore. I split them over 2 days. It's like £600 a day turnover. Then you've got to pay your chemical. You're there all day, so you're working hard. You're petrol in your machine and all that. You're probably 150 quid out in X's. So that's like 10.50 over 2 days, 5.75. Then you've got to pay your tax and everything. It's the same as window cleaning for a day.
Yeah.
Like 8 days window cleaning, and you just work so much harder. You've got to go back 6 months later to make sure it's looking all right.
That's what I found with the pressure washing as well with driveways. I used to do that, and if it's a block paved driveway, unless you put like a weed killer down, those weeds start coming up within like a month.
You won't stop.
And I'd get a customer come and say, well, I thought you cleaned it. And I was like, I did. It looked like brand new when I finished.
It's clean. Yeah, it's just the weeds.
You have to maintain the weeds. But I found that with the jet
I used to
washing.
explain that to all my customers now. So I do a lot of jet washing.
Yeah.
And we hire Poet. I have got a commercial grade weed killer that we carry around if someone really does kick off.
You've got to have a license for that, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, have you got one?
No.
What, the weed killer?
Yeah, you need to have a proper...
You need a license to spray it, not to own it.
Okay, so you just say, yeah, it's from my
I'll give it to
house.
the customer.
Oh, yeah.
They can spray.
You want to be careful what you admit to.
I have got someone who is, it's a PA6 license, I think.
Yeah.
And it's just to spray the chemical.
I thought you said you want to register for that sort of thing.
Sorry, no.
Not here, Dan.
I don't think you need the license if you're not killing anything.
Right.
So if you're treating a clean driveway with no weeds.
Yeah.
So it's like you're not allowed to spray moss on a roof because moss is protected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you scrape it off and treat it afterwards, no license.
Moss is protected. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So you're allowed to remove it then?
Yeah.
And what do you do with the moss afterwards? Do you just
dispose it however you would any green?
How does that happen then? How is it protected when it's on, but when it's off, it's not? That's weird. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to watch the podcast and come crashing down and they've sprayed some weeds. But
I'll tell you another interesting one.
That really makes sense.
Right.
Slightly different. Do you know if you was to drive through the countryside and knock a deer down, yeah, you can't stop and get it for food and eat it, but the car behind you can.
Really?
Yeah. Because it looks like you aimed at it. But it's weird, isn't it? It's these really weird rules.
Yeah.
It always blows my mind. It's like, come on, mate. Like, don't be silly.
But it's like the whole... if you hit a swan, you go to prison for that.
Yeah.
You kill a swan.
The Queen, they all have like the Queen or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's funny, little perks like that.
Mate, they hit me once when I was younger.
They're lethal.
Me for
Yeah,
life,
stay away from them.
They
They
hiss
break
like,
people's arms, didn't they?
they hiss like
They
a
have
snake, don't
wingspan
they?
when they come out. It's just like,
they are
Jesus.
they're big animals.
Yeah.
Right, I've got a question.
Yeah.
Do you ever regret not pushing through that difficult time?
No.
No.
I thought I would.
Yeah.
And it's been a year now. Almost. Well, no, just over a year now since I packed it all up. And I don't regret one bit. Don't regret one bit. And I don't regret doing it. I really
I think
learned a
sometimes
lot.
you've got to go through stuff to realise. But you would have never known.
No, I was
Yeah,
always
well, yeah.
sitting at that 80 grand, whatever, and I was like, wow, I feel like I've got a really good business here. I want to go for it. Like most people watching, they really feel like they could do it. And I was there for a couple of years. I was thinking, I need to do it. I want to do it. Because like, it's a physical job. I've been doing it 14 years now, almost. And you start to get a few aches and stuff. And I thought, can I see myself doing this when I'm like 50, 60?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, now I can. But at the time I was like, yeah, I don't think I can.
So
I need to.
moving forward a little bit, because I wanted to ask this at the end, but you've just led on to it quite nicely. Have you got a new end goal now? Because presumably it was like come off the tools and still have a business that
Yeah.
makes money, but now you've decided against that. Is there a new end goal for retirement?
So what I do now is what I think everyone should do if you're a self-employed, anything. You've got to put money aside for your pension, whatever. You've got to do it. I didn't do that for years, and I regret that. That's one of my biggest regrets. But I thought I was going to have this big freaking business that was going to bring in millions. That's what I genuinely thought. I thought I reckon I can get to like 500,000, 600,000, 700,000. That's what I thought. But
Turnover a year.
Yeah, I thought I could do that. I did the math, and I was like, I talked to a lot of other guys in the industry that have got 6, 7 vans. Lee's got 20, and they were guiding me, which is really nice. They didn't have to do that. A lot of the time they charge for that sort of advice, so I'm really grateful for them for helping me out. But yeah, so what I would say is, I don't regret anything. I don't regret doing it. I've learned so much. I've got thicker skin now, and I'm actually really happy with life now that I've done it. It was one of the worst 10 months of my life, but one of the best. I'm glad I've started up my YouTube channel again, which is quite good. I'm getting a lot of positive feedback from that. And I've actually got a new venture happening possibly next year. It's to do with exterior cleaning. I don't want to say too. I'll just say it's a product.
Very nice.
But I don't want to say too much, because if it doesn't happen,
You can come back on the podcast.
Yeah.
when it's
Mate, chuck
ready.
us a couple testing.
I will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will for sure.
Yeah.
It's in testing now, and I'm hoping to start, because I had a bad experience from a supplier, and I thought I reckon I can do it better than them. And
That's how a lot
I'm going to go and do
of
it.
products are made.
Yeah. I think that's a lot of things like that happen. Yeah.
Was it a difficult transition going from 3 guys, 3 vans back down to
Yeah,
one?
I would argue that it's actually harder.
Yeah.
What, to stick it in reverse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the whole thing with the VAT, that confused people, because I said I was VAT registered still for the 12 months.
Yeah.
And what that is you're VAT, aren't you? So you probably are you VAT?
No.
No. So what happens is your VAT is done on a 12-month period. So any 12-month period.
Yeah, rolling.
Rolling 12-month period. So you have to drop below 2,000, below the threshold. So now the threshold is 90. It went up 5 grand in April. It's been 85 for years. It should be much higher than 90. It should be like 120 or
I agree.
with inflation.
I agree, yeah.
150, really.
It should either be like 10 grand and everyone pays it, or it should be 120.
Yeah.
This middle ground where it's like 90 now don't make any sense.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I
Yeah.
agree with that more.
Do you know, I agree as well, because it's like, it's a very good one person can hit 90, but you're not quite ready to take that member of staff on. So now, not only as soon as you're over that 90, you've got VAT and a member of staff to contend with, and now it's like, mate, I've got 2 punches in the face.
And it's not just the industry, in the window cleaning industry. I know hairdressers, I know all sorts of people in the other industries.
It's that little weird interim, limbo,
they are
isn't
so
it?
can't go for it because they're terrified about this 20%, because it's all domestic what they're doing. Commercial is not a problem. You tell them and they're like, fine.
They want
whatever.
it really sometimes in some scenarios.
It's more beneficial for them, especially if they've got money to blow.
Yeah, but domestic, you're trying to tell, they don't care. If it's 25 quid plus, and that's with the VAT, or 25 quid, they don't care. They just
I don't
want.
tell them anymore. Like, I just give them the price.
But I used to hate.
Of that.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, but I used to hate it. If it was 25 quid, and I'm like, actually, it's only £20.80 I'm making. That's like £4 every time. Like, do you know what I mean? It's a lot. It does add up. It really
I
does.
started just putting like a bunch of money aside, so I try and keep X amount
You have to.
in the account. Anything that goes above that gets put into a savings account.
Yeah.
And then I haven't had my first VAT return yet. So
Have you not?
No, so I went back in September.
Oh, okay,
I
so it's
think
3
my
months.
first one's going to be this month. I thought they'd done it on the quarter.
So you're going to be able to claim everything back?
Yeah, I should get about 14 grand back.
Your first VAT return is really good because you can claim all that stuff that you haven't claimed back in the past.
I bought 4 vans as well in the first 3 years.
But have you sold them?
I traded them in, so...
You won't get the VAT back on them?
No, I don't. I'll get the VAT when I bought them. So I claim the VAT for buying them.
I don't think, so, unless you own the thing, I don't think you can claim the VAT back.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So only 2 of them had VAT on anyway.
Ah, okay.
So that was like 8 grand of VAT or 6 grand of VAT
Right.
that I've purchased. Still own one of them.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So when you buy it, obviously put the expense through with the VAT, which then gets claimed.
Yeah.
But when I sold it, I wasn't VAT registered, so I didn't sell it with any VAT.
Oh,
So
okay.
you don't pay VAT on the sale.
No.
So yeah,
Okay. Oh, I see. Yeah. So you're going to be in for a nice bit
to me.
of money there.
Yeah,
Should be.
should be about 14 grand.
You want to put some of that into marketing?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Yeah,
So
'cause
I'm going to
it's-
do 20,000 leaflets. I wanted to get them done this side of Christmas, but I think it's probably a bit late now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just signed up with a guy called James who does WhatsApp automated marketing.
Oh, okay.
So his system pulls in all of your... So you can do it with leaflets as well. So he puts like a special number on there. So when they call that number, it pulls them in. Facebook,
so clever.
Google, all comes into his system. It automatically sends them a quote because you've got to have your prices based on,
Right.
parameters. You can't be someone who goes to visit a job to see it. It's got to be done based on what they put in. It sends them the quote straight away. Then they can book directly on WhatsApp.
Wow.
It's really, really
That's
impressive. Yeah. So with that money, we're just going to be doing Google ads, Facebook ads, a bunch of leaflets.
So when you take on your first guy, he's going to be PAYE,
Yep.
and are you going to try and get to the next? Are you going to put him in his own van?
So my plan is March time. I think it takes someone on. So I've got until March to get as many new customers as possible.
Right.
Take them in my van for 3 months. That's what I'm going to do.
Yep.
Make sure at the end of the 3 months, we're going to go, do you want to carry on? Am I happy with you? Are you happy with me? Are we all happy?
Yeah.
If not, let's call it a day. So they'll get their basic wage for 3 months. At the end of the 3 months, we'll get them a van and a system. They'll go out on their own.
Right.
They'll then get their basic pay plus 20% of whatever they do. So say their basic pay is 2k a month. If they do 10 grand's worth of work, they'll get 20% of the 8 grand.
Okay.
So they'll get another 1,600 quid on top of their 2 grand.
That's very generous.
Yeah, but I want them.
You want the right one.
Yeah. They've got to be the right person.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not going to be. It's going to be a high, slow, fire, fast situation.
Got to be.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be the right person. And
Hire, slow, fire, fast.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means when you hire someone, you don't rush in.
The opposite to what I did.
Yeah, basically, you don't hire them really quickly because you're desperate for someone.
So
you
what's
hold
firing
out.
fast? You just
So
get rid
if
of
they're
it?
no good, you just get rid of
As soon as they annoy
You don't give them.
Yeah.
You don't go. Oh well, red flag. I'll let that go.
Thing is,
Who's done that then?
Yeah.
How many days do you give them for the trouser scenario?
thing is, I think that might be more difficult. Have you seen Labour trying to bring in so you can't just sack someone?
Yeah.
But there's ways
what are they
around things.
doing with this country?
Oh,
my
man, that could be a
God.
whole podcast.
That's
on its
another
own.
conversation.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's going to be, but ideally with the higher slow situation, I won't have to fire them.
Yeah.
So obviously there's issues that are going to arise whichever way you do it. No one's perfect and you're not going to have a perfect run, but trying to minimise that as best as possible.
So what's your goal? What have you got a figure in mind? Have you got a van number in mind?
So I haven't at the moment, but I've got like steps that I want to get to.
Right.
So we don't own a house at the moment, so I want to get to a point where I can take 5 grand a month out of the business for myself.
Yeah.
To get to that point, I think I'm going to have to turn just short of 200 grand a year, which I think I can do with 1/2 staff members.
You reckon?
So that's.
And you're carrying on doing the roofs and
I'll
things.
I'll be working during that period as well.
Yeah. So it's not solely window cleaning.
So no, so we're building the window cleaning to pay for the staff member.
Yeah.
If they can bring in 10 grand a month to the business and I'm paying them between 3 and 4,
Yeah.
I think that's a good profit margin
Yeah.
to have out of a person. If I can do that with 2 people, then brilliant. And then we'll still do the roofs, the gutters,
Yeah.
pressure washing, anything that they can't pick up.
Yeah.
Obviously, if they're doing a gutter or a place they're window cleaning at, then they can go and do it. And then from that point afterwards, there'll be a new goal. But I'm try not to look too far into the future. I know it's probably not the best way to do it.
You need to work back. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
You need to think, right, I want to do 100 grand a month or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you work back from that?
For me, I just feel like I've got too much going on.
You got a young family.
So, yeah, and I need to focus on them. So I've got to get that house.
Yeah.
If I focus too much on, say, it's 100 grand a month, I'm going to lose sight of that part of it, and I'd potentially make a decision. I know what I'm like. I would make a decision and spend more on marketing rather than take that money to buy a house.
That's what I did.
Which I don't want to do.
I was reinvesting
I would
all the
rather grow
profits
over 10 years to get to that point.
Yeah,
over
slow and
5,
steady does win the race.
to have the house for my family.
How old are your kids?
5 and 8 weeks. 7 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the same age as mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
just
the same
yours a
time.
little bit older.
When was it born?
2nd of October.
Oh, mine was 14th September.
Yeah, a few weeks.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
So at the moment it's not so much of an issue, but
I just
when she gets a little bit older, we haven't got a bedroom for her.
Yeah.
So we need to,
And you don't feel like you can do that working as a one-man band?
I don't. I probably could, but then I think I'd be sacrificing time with my family. I would have to work. So at the moment I start at say 8 and I'm normally home by 3.
Yeah.
We do about 120 grand a year,
It's excluding VAT, yeah.
including the VAT.
Right.
So
That's bloody good.
yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
no, but for me to take the money out of the business now would mean that there's not enough money to employ someone, not enough money to
Definitely
continue
not at
growing.
120 grand, no.
No, so I think if I employ someone first and grow, a year from now I can be back in the same position,
Yeah.
but with that employee, and it's just going to take that edge off.
Yeah.
I think.
My only worry is you sound a lot like I did.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone in that
Not the
position
house,
sounds very
but
similar.
I was saying pretty much what you're saying, and like I said, I don't regret doing it, but it did take a huge hit on my family
Yeah,
life.
I had a business before that we were doing about 25 grand a month. I had
nice.
30 staff members.
Whoa, what was that in?
We done photo booth, wedding events, so
okay.
DJs, photo booths, dance floors,
Right.
light up letters.
What happened to that?
everything.
How come you didn't carry that?
So I ran it with my best friend. We
Thanks, mate.
at the time.
Fucking hell. I'm going, right, see you later, lads, I'm off.
He was very much trying to push the business, taking on more and more finance. We got to a point where we were just servicing the finance and the staff, and
Feels like you're professionally moving
I
money.
was doing a lot of work.
That's a good, very good
not
phrase.
a lot of return. So I basically said, look, we need to pull back and slow down, or I'm going to have to walk away.
Right.
He didn't want to do that, so I took a step back. This was like November time. In the December, I think they had about 60 grand's worth. We used to do a lot of money in December, Christmas parties. They had about 60 grand's worth of refunds to give out because he just couldn't handle it.
Right.
Where I had been doing a lot of the organisational stuff, it just sort of fell apart.
Right.
They tried to implement a new system, just didn't work. So we ended up selling that. Not a loss, but just not what it was worth.
Yeah.
And that was, after that we were both much happier.
Okay. So you have had an experience, so you're not going in.
I've been there, not been there and done it as such, but sort of, I think that's why I've managed to scale to the turnover I'm at now on my own.
Yeah, that's really good.
I've learned a lot of
120,
mistakes.
that's really good.
And I've only got like 160 customers I regularly.
Wow, oh, that's really good.
So yeah, everyone I talk to, they're like, I've got 400 customers and we're not VAT registered. I'm like, I don't understand.
I mean, to be fair, I'm on like 390, and I am like, every month I'm keeping an eye on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I have to take a couple of days off a month, otherwise I'm going to go over.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing.
Well, yeah, it's not a bad thing. So I'm in the best of both worlds at the moment.
Did you say you still offer pressure washing or not?
No, I stopped that like 2018, I think. I didn't like getting.
So yeah, I do a lot of that stuff. Which,
Yeah, that's good ticket money though.
So my window cleaning only accounts for about 60 grand of that 120.
How do you price your gutters? Out of curiosity. Are you per side or do you measure each one?
To be honest, I've just been doing it so long now that I say to someone,
Don't tell me you wing it. Don't tell me you wing it.
Right, it depends as well how busy you are. People don't want to admit that, but if you're really, really busy and you can't take any more work, then a lot of people put the price up a little bit more because if you want me to do it, then that's how much it's going to cost.
The situation, I think, is different because you don't want to go past that threshold as well.
Yeah.
Whereas for me, don't matter how busy I am, I'm just going to quote at the price I charge.
Right.
It's like work is work.
Oh yeah.
And
I did find that very freeing when I was VAT registered. I didn't have to worry about anything. I could work as much as I want because I really enjoy working. I don't actually like to take too much time off, you know, unless it's like summer holidays or something.
I go a little bit stir crazy.
Yeah.
Off for too long.
Well, I heard you talking about it last week.
2 weeks off at Christmas.
About Christmas.
And I'm a little bit concerned.
Yeah. I usually take about 10 days off or whatever, but yeah, it does drive me a bit crazy at the end.
Unfortunately, this year, the last weekend before Christmas, the Monday's the 23rd. So I was like, I'm not going to go back for the Monday and then go back into work for the Friday. What's the point of that? So I'll take that week off, and then the next week takes you through to like the 5th, is the Monday after.
Yeah.
And you've got all New Year in between that, so I was like, I'll just take 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
But yeah, finding stuff to do for 2 weeks.
It's tricky when you're used to being out and about all the time.
Yeah.
No, you're doing really well. That's really good. Yeah. That's really good. You should be proud of that.
It's getting there. It's just, I think a lot of people sort of look at those numbers, and it is a vanity thing because I've not got 120 grand in my bank account.
No, that's the thing.
But navigating the next step for me is the hardest. Like I've almost got this like mental block with what the next step is, because a lot of people. Like I spoke to someone the other day. They're doing like 60k a year, and they've got a staff member.
I don't. How?
But I don't think I could afford one now.
No.
So I'm having to do all this marketing now. I want to add at least another 100 customers before I even think about taking someone on.
That's why I tried to tell people that why I went from 2 vans to 3 vans so quickly was because I was terrified about I've got all these customers that I need to service, and if he quits on me, I'm screwed. It would take so long to find someone else. So I thought if I could get 3 people in, like me plus 2 others, if someone quit, it's much easier for 2 guys to take on absorb that work temporarily while I find someone else. And someone in the comments, I hope you paid the other guy. But I did pay them really well. I think I paid them too well, in all honesty.
What was their wages then?
Well, he was 27k plus bonuses.
What's the bonus?
I built up a bonus system. So if you say like you finish your job sheet, no complaints, that's a tenner for the day. You do that over a week, it's 50 quid.
Yeah.
Mate, a month, that's nice.
Yes.
Another free,
when you look at it, you think, there's not enough meat on the bone to offer that kind of thing. And window cleaning, that's what I found. Or like if you went off and got me a job, got a job for the business that's £200, you're going to get, I can't remember the percentage, but it was, I don't know if it was 10%, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
I'd
like to add in some sort of...
I think that's a great incentive.
If they speak to the customer and they've noticed an overgrown gutter and they want it done,
that's what I did.
A little bit of a
if you get a nice Google review, you get a little bonus there. 1 month he got, it was like £650 bonus. And I was like, I don't know if I could do that. Like, I think I was being a bit generous with the money.
I think it's...
there was the margin.
I don't think so at all. I think that's fantastic.
That's what I wanted.
The people that won't work well, don't matter what you pay them.
No.
They're still going to...
And unfortunately, the line of work we're in, window cleaning, so, do you know what I mean? It's a tough old gig. Do you know what I mean?
It attracts...
Do you think?
It attracts
I think it is.
low quality workers, but you really need to be... like good customer facing.
There's
a lot of
I think you need to be an all-rounder in this business. I think you need to have a good customer, like pardon my cynicism, you need to have a good customer face, but also you can't be out of shape. You can't be fat and do this job. Like you're up and down, flat roofs, didn't you?
I had a guy come and apply for a job. I didn't even meet him, which was bad, but he rang up, he sounded great on the phone. I said, come in for a trial day.
Yeah.
He was obese.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do I address this situation?
Yeah,
because you are not going to work out. You're obese. He wasn't morbidly obese, but he was obese for sure. Yeah. And I was like, how do I go about telling you that you're too fat to do this? Because, like, do you know what I mean? It's a physical job. If you're carrying around an extra, 5 stone,
as well.
that's it. I mean,
That's a bit severe, but like it could happen.
but then he admitted it himself after the day. I was like, I know this isn't going to work, but I want you to experience it. So after the day was done, he was like, I don't think this is.
Just say, mate, I ain't going to sugarcoat it because you're probably going to try and eat it.
No, but we've all been fat. I've been fat before, and it's hard. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to.
And mate, like if you're smoking and that, you pay the price.
Yeah.
Mate, on a Monday morning, if I've had too much wine, mate, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a physical job.
I think this is like a lifestyle. If you want to make it a good window cleaner, a long-term, decades in the game, you've got to look after your body.
Totally, mate. I'm an absolute advocate for this, aren't I? Mate, I just preach it every day.
Yeah.
But then if
every
they're
day.
too good, they'll just start their own business.
Well, that's the other issue you got. Yeah,
So
I've had people nicking customers because you don't own these customers. They don't own. You don't have any contracts. There's no contracts. You don't own anything. You could get them to sign a thing saying that they're not going to nick your customers.
mate, you ain't
well, that
gonna.
doesn't mean anything. That's not going to hold up in court, is it?
You know, are you
Like-
even going to take it to court?
No, of course not.
You've got to prove that they contacted the customer first, because their NDAs don't hold up if the customer's non-disclosure.
Exactly.
Agreement.
No, it's not.
It's a hard-
non-compete agreement.
It's a hard
You said
business to
NDA.
scale.
Yeah, I know. I said the wrong thing.
It's a hard. At the end of the day,
It's on camera, mate.
yeah. At the end of the day, it's a hard business to scale. And when I look back, I think if I could change, if I go back to my 20-year-old self, I don't think I'd do window cleaning.
No way.
I don't think I would.
What, would you follow up the valeting?
No, I don't think I'd go in there.
Valet,
I don't want to sound negative, but I don't think I'd go in the cleaning industry. I think I'd go for something a bit more specialist, a bit higher barrier to entry.
Yeah.
Electrician, plumber. Yeah, they've got all their problems in their trade, but you know.
Give me electrician vibes.
I think.
Someone else has said that.
You give me mega.
Someone else said
electrician
that,
vibes, yeah.
and I'm like, I'm crap. I can't do electrics, but like, I wish I did something that was a bit more. You need a bit of a qualification to do
A
it.
friend of mine is an electrician. He was meant to come on the podcast actually, and he tried to take someone on, and he had the exact same problems.
Yes,
The exact same problems.
but you can charge a higher. Your margins are much better. I
he
called
would
out.
disagree with you.
That's weird because I called out a plumber the other day to do something with the boiler because it was leaking CO2 or something. £280, and he was there 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine if you can get that. If you can get a leaky boiler 8 times a day.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of them would be like a boiler replacement, and you might make £280 in a day
Yeah.
or over 2 days.
Yeah.
Do you know what though? I'd be a cynic here, and I'd say I'd be surprised at what he put in his pocket after that, because them boilers ain't a joke. Like a little bit like that might cost him 180.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've done it before. Oh, so I had a call out once, and a woman, and she said my kitchen cabinet door on one of my kitchen cabinets is broken, and I said, what one is it? And she said the hinges on the washing machine. You know the washing machine door.
Yeah.
If you ever look at them, the hinges are bolted onto the washing machine. Not a lot of people know this. Yeah. So the actual washing machine's a special built-in one, and the hinges are on the machine. Right. The hinges are £50. Right, plus my call out is 75 quid. It might say, oh, 75 quid. It's like, mate, but I've got to be there. I've got the back end worker getting it, dropping it off, and all the rest of it. It's just my minimum. If someone else's minimum is 50, let them do it.
Yeah.
Mate, she couldn't believe the cost just for this one door. And I went, I agree with you. It's unfair. But out of that 125, I'm not pocketing bundles.
No.
It's, mate, I've spent 50 quid on hinges, and I've gone to go get them and all the rest of it. Like, I didn't really want the job.
Yeah.
But it's interesting, you know what I mean?
I've heard a lot of those sorts of stories.
Yeah.
It's tricky. I think you do have problems in a lot of industries.
But it's, I think it comes down to your work ethic.
Yeah.
Like a window cleaner can earn 100 grand a year if they're willing to work hard enough.
Well, that's what I'm
and they've got
trying to
enough
tell people.
customers.
Yeah.
Same as an electrician, same as a
Yeah.
plumber, and you get electricians and plumbers that earn 40 grand a year.
Yeah.
Who
And they're the ones
to
that
them
moan.
they're doing well.
Yeah, well,
that's well for them.
They moan about the ones doing 100k, and it's like, but you're not putting in the effort that guy is. I'm telling you now, because like, you know, I have to make sure I'm in bed early for the next day. I've got to make sure my diet's on point. I've got to make sure I'm working out to keep, you know, flexible. I guarantee you're not doing that.
And there'll be the same guys that are like, oh no, don't spend any money on marketing.
Yeah.
I know,
Mate,
you don't need to spend money on marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You
that's-
would,
If you want 40k a year.
Yeah.
Like, you've made a very good point there, and it just made me remember. I worked on a building site before starting my own business, and I was on a huge site in London, and it was right by Buckingham Palace. And there was probably at least 30 of every person you can imagine. 30 floor layers, 30 sparkies, 30 plumbers, 30 roofers all on this site, right? So when you're having lunch and that, you see them, or I'd have to, because I was like a site person in charge, I had to kind of speak to them and parlay with them. And mate, yeah, you would be surprised how many sparkies that have got phenomenal knowledge. You go, mate, like, you're wasted here. Nah, I can't be arsed. I'll be done by 12 and I'll just sit down in the tea room. Yeah. And you're like, mate, you've got no fucking drive about you, man.
But I find that with a lot of people in trades as well. Like, a lot of them are great at what they do, but they cannot be a business owner.
Yeah.
No.
They're not a business owner.
It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone. But even going out on your own as a self-employed, you know, I look at them and I'm like, you're not that good at what, you know, the marketing side of things. You probably should be employed. A lot of people think this self-employed road is the be-all and end-all. And it is good if you're good. If you like I say, if you look after yourself and you make sure, you know, you're charging correctly, it can be good. But I do think being employed, there's a place for that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
the world revolves around both sides of people.
Not everyone's built for self-employment. I wasn't built for building a business. I know that.
There's only 500 million entrepreneurs in the world out of 8 billion.
That's a very high percentage, bro.
Not really.
What, turning over a certain amount?
Mate, that's less than 1 in 10.
That's what they reckon in the world.
500?
500 million.
500 million.
Oh, 500 million? I thought you said 500.
Yeah, 3 are in this room. No, I know what you mean, but I think that's still an awful lot.
But like...
Does that include self-employed?
That includes self-employed.
Oh.
That's everyone who works for themselves, an entrepreneur.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It's not...
That's a lot.
Not necessarily business owners that have got employees. It's, you know, it's everyone who's not employed.
I'm surprised it's that high.
You think?
Yeah, I'm surprised it's that high. I thought it'd be lower than that.
You reckon?
Yeah.
That's in the
You
world.
think? But you think how many employees? Like Mr. Tesco's one, isn't he? He's one of that number. And how many staff has he got?
Yeah.
35,000.
Yeah. Right. I think that another statistic then is there's 5,000. I might be butchering this. There's 5,000 companies in the UK that employ more than 250 staff, and 500,000 companies, or something like that, 5 million companies. It's less than 2% companies that employ more than 250 people.
Yeah.
Out of all the companies.
In the UK.
There you go.
Yeah, I heard that stat somewhere. Yeah.
A lot of them are small.
And something like 80% of companies are under the VAT threshold.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Yeah.
There's only 20% of companies that are turning over more than 90k a year.
Yeah.
Mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to grow a business. It really is.
Yeah.
It's
It's hard to work for yourself.
Yeah, I thought I was built for it. I genuinely thought when I was going into it, I'm great. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't go out like much. I could dedicate my life to this.
Yeah, you do have to dedicate your life.
You do. And I'm not
people
trying to say kids are an excuse, but I prioritise my family.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
So that's the only thing I worry about you when you're talking about that. I know you've got a young family, so you just got to be careful.
I think fortunately for me, in a way, my wife's only ever known me as a business owner.
Right.
So it's not like I've gone from one employed status to all of a sudden this like run away with the fairies, try and build a business. I've always been that way. I think that's something else that's quite difficult for people that start their own business. It is a different mindset you've got to be in.
Totally.
And if you've gone from employed, leave work at 8:30, get home at 5:30, you know, take lunch to work with you, and then all of a sudden you're up at 5 doing admin in the morning, you're out all day, then you're back doing admin in the evening, and then you might have to work some weekends, and your wife goes, you're never here anymore.
Yeah, that's what I found.
Love us.
I was up early, cracking on with emails. I was eating my dinner in my office. I eat my dinner every night with my kids at the table, but during that period I was in the office eating dinner while replying to emails and that. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, life for me.
It's so easy to run away with you.
It is.
And you get the anxiety of, if I don't reply to this email, like,
Well, I was obsessed with keeping the guys busy because I was like, I cannot have anyone sitting around doing nothing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want you coming in at 8 and then finishing at 12.
No.
You're at 8 and you're finishing at 4. That's the hours.
Absolutely.
I was obsessed with that, and I pushed them well too hard. In reality, I pushed them well too hard. They're not built like me. I would do that work all day, every day.
That's it.
They're not built like that. That's why they're employees. They were slower than me. They weren't as efficient, but that's fine. Like, I learned the hard way that people aren't.
I think it's brilliant that you've done it and you tested it and you decided it's not for you.
Honestly, I learned so much.
Would just continue down that road and have a mental breakdown.
Yes,
And life would fall apart.
Yeah.
And
you can see it though, can't you?
Yeah.
You can see it.
Yeah,
you can see why and how these things happen.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I'm really glad I sort of stopped it when I did.
And to take the route that you took with slowing it down rather than just closing the business and starting up again.
Yeah, I was really tempted because I was stuck in this rat race of the VAT, and when you're a one-man band, that hurts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, don't you? So it does hurt paying out that every quarter.
Well, how comes you didn't take that route?
What's
Out
that?
of curiosity, just shutting the business down and then starting up again.
I don't know.
Because like you say, the customers aren't owned by the company.
No, I had to. Yeah, it was a really hard process getting rid of customers.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like some of them were really good, and I was like, you're just a bit far. Like I want to bring it in now to my home. You know, just 6-7 mile radius of where I live.
My question is, because I remember you're saying about cutting back customers, yeah? Why on earth didn't you sell them?
Because I said it in the video actually, because I thought a lot of these customers I might have only had for 2 months, and it annoys me when people are like, I went to this window cleaner was selling his round last year when I was doing all this, and he came to me and was like, do you want to buy it? I know you're expanding. I was like, yeah, let's have a look at it. His average price per customer was like £17. I was like, mate, you're pretty, like, that's really low. Like, and he was like, no, they're all really good, I only want he wanted something like £4,000 for it, and I was like, there was 120 customers or something. I can't remember.
That's
exactly.
phenomenal. Mate, I'll buy that.
Oh, they were shocking though.
I think that's great.
You think that's good money?
120 customers and you've got to pay $4,000.
It was something like that. I can't remember the exact. It might have been 5. It wasn't much more than that.
Consider that
If you're going to get, what, 20 quid a window?
Yeah,
No,
but
£17 on average. So
10% of them might drop off.
Yeah.
Then you might want to up the prices of them. You might lose another 20%.
Oh, hang on a minute.
And then before you know it, you've got 70 customers out of £4,000.
I've done that thing where I've misinterpreted you. £17 per customer is not what he spent to get them, it's what they spend with him.
yes, yeah.
Pardon
So
me.
on
Pardon
average,
me.
I was like, because then we went on Google Maps. I was like, show me some of your houses. He's like, oh yeah, well, I do this one. And I looked at it. I was like, how much are you charging for that? He's like, £12. I was like, oh,
No,
mate,
keep it.
I can't. You could pay me to take it off you, but I'm not having it. And he was a bit funny about that. He was like, oh, you fucking, yeah. Anyway, so
Did he get
nah, he was just like, he said that's really rude. You know, I was like, I built this up over 10 years. I was like, well, I'm just being honest. Do you know what I mean? You're going to struggle to sell
You
that.
can't sell something that's not worth anything.
No,
Like,
I was just being honest. It's not personal. I just, they weren't worth what you're selling it for.
No.
Like, I would maybe consider taking them for free.
it's a good.
But-
I mean, wasn't a bad multiple. I'm assuming they were like 4 weekly.
Yeah, some are 4, some are 8.
Yeah, so it's not a horrendous multiple.
But when you
for-
have to,
for
because
the value of
I was
them.
then VAT registered, so you got £17 on
Oh,
average.
mate, and you're getting slapped.
Oh my
20%,
God, yeah.
I mean, for £4,000, you got to consider. Not that I'm trying to tell you how to run your business.
Go on, man.
You've got to consider, right, for £4,000, let's call it 100 customers to make it easy, right? So you're going to pay 40 quid a customer. Probably cost you more than that
Yeah,
if you was to do a marketing campaign
it would.
on average. Then say you went and said, right, I'm not doing any of them for the price that he's got. I'm going to add 10% and add the VAT.
Oh,
Right?
you'd lose them, wouldn't
So
you?
say you lost 40% of them.
Yeah.
You'd still have paid £4,000 for 60 customers,
Yeah.
which is still an it's assuming that those numbers
Yeah.
worked out, which isn't a bad punt.
It's not bad.
I wouldn't have done it, but
That's why I didn't want to sell, because I just think a lot of times people overvalue what is a winner
They're
cleaner business
emotionally
worth.
attached to it,
Yes,
though, aren't they?
exactly.
They're
Yeah, like, mate, he sweated over them for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he wants top dog money,
That's
doesn't
it. I've been tempted well before I started to scale. We were going to move to another town, move out. We were going to go somewhere else. We were just fed up with where we lived. For no reason, just because I've lived there all my life. We were going to move to Wales or somewhere. And I was like, yeah, but what's my business worth? It's turning over 70, 80K.
really, if you're a sole trader, it's not worth anything.
Who's going
It's
to
a
pay, even if I said, give me 50 grand?
Yeah.
Who's going to pay 50
Who's
grand?
got 50 grand?
Yeah, I suppose you could say pay me monthly, but then you've got to rely on him doing that. And how much is a winner clean business worth? That's what I was trying to,
Yeah.
especially if you only own the customers 2 months.
You'd have to break it down and sell the rounds, and then it's a job in itself.
That's it.
By the time you've done it all,
Yeah.
whilst trying to build around wherever you go into,
Yeah.
to hit the ground running.
And I think a lot of these people, when they build their businesses, they're thinking, oh, I could sell this. I don't think you could sell a winner clean business for good multiples. Do you know what I mean?
Not in full.
No.
I know someone who's bought full businesses from other people, but they'll pay like 1.8x
Right.
because no one's got the money.
No.
So say you've got 40 grand's worth of window cleaning, no one's going to pay you 5x
No.
Because who's got, what's 200 grand?
Yeah.
No one's got 200 grand sitting there ready to
At
buy,
what
in my
level as
opinion.
well? Like, bearing in mind, right, so like your business and my business, yeah? If someone was to walk in and go like, right lads, I've got a blank checkbook and I'll buy your business, or all your businesses off you, but you've got to walk away tomorrow, right? Realistically, what price would you need to walk away and start something new from scratch? That's like, mate, that's everything you've known.
I know. Yeah.
I think that's a
Quite
colossal
half a
ask.
million quid.
That's a, it's a big
$500,000?
ask.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, I'd walk away for 40 billion. So I mean,
Well,
if hypothetically, no, I
If
mean,
Amazon want to come along and buy it, I'll sell
Yeah, but
it.
like bearing in mind, it's turning over 120 on my own. If someone's got the minerals to swap that around, and I think.
yeah, but do they
I
buy on
will-
turnover or profit? Because you might spend 110 to earn that.
Depends. You just said to me, how much would I have to be paid to walk away?
Yeah, but I think that's like, I think you've plucked that a bit on the high side as well.
No, but that's my number. It's not.
Yeah, I see
It's
what you
not. It's it's not real conversation. It's fake.
mean. The word you wanted was hypothetical.
I was going to say theoretical.
Yeah, I know you was.
But yeah, that's if someone came to me now for the plans that I've got for the business, that'd
Yeah.
be my number.
Half a
Because I just
million.
don't think anything less.
I
is
think you're
worth
right.
for what I've put into it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
And to the point, it's like this is I've done the hard work now. But obviously, it's all hard work.
Yeah.
The hardest part is getting up and running and building a customer base.
Yeah, it's weird. I just don't think they're worth anything. I just.
No, they're not. No,
They're-
they're not
and
worth
hypothetical. Yeah,
it.
you'd
Like, why
love.
would someone buy my job?
You've got a job.
Yeah.
And that's
Got
what
a
I thought. I was annoyed with that. I used to hear that saying, "You haven't built a business, you built a job."
Yeah.
And I used to get that. It used to annoy me. I don't know why.
Mate, I think that's wrong.
I know.
That's
Some
mental.
people call it profitable job as well, and I say, where's the fucking profit?
Yeah.
No, but I don't think you've built a job at all. I think you built a business.
No, you haven't. You've built a job.
No, I would
It's
say you
not
built a
business.
job.
In no way description is it a business.
Why?
If you walked away from it, it wouldn't trade.
The phone would ring. What are you talking about?
Who would
No one's there to
bro?
answer it. are they?
Yeah, but if like in terms of buying it off of someone, yeah.
No. It's still
You
a
are-
job.
you are
It's
selling a
not-
job.
It's not a business.
It's like when these people do window cleaning franchises. I can't understand why you'd buy a franchise, a window cleaning franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What,
can't
as opposed to
understand
making
that.
your own?
Just make your own.
Well,
Yeah, I
out
agree.
of area as well. No one's going to know that brand.
You're
The
buying,
brand's
yeah.
not big enough.
There's no
to-
window cleaning brand in the UK that you could say everyone knows that brand.
Yeah.
Is
Across
there
the UK.
one called Rhino?
But that
I know
actually-
there's
that went
one,
bust.
but I've never seen it. I've never seen it outside of like the expo or where it would advertise itself. Does that make sense?
There's a few. There's actually a few about.
Well,
when you look
we
online,
met Ralph from Tidal.
yeah, he's got one in Bournemouth.
So he's franchised. He's now bought more back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so now he works on like, and again, he did watch the podcast, so I might butcher this, but from what I understood, he now works on like, they get the work, they then say you wanted a load more customers, they'd say, right, we've got this customer base in Bournemouth, you do it, but they still own the customers, so the customers pay Ralph,
Right.
then he pays you, but he nicks
commission.
£2 off the top.
So
or
he's
whatever.
relying on them being self-motivated to get out there and
Yeah,
carry on
he's
doing
got
the
like
work.
110 window cleaners that they pass work out to now. And
That's work,
they
yeah.
don't go out under the Tidal name, they go out under their own name, I think, or unbranded or whatever.
I've seen a few of their pop-ups on Instagram.
Yeah. And if you do a good job, you get more work. If you do a bad job, they take the work off you.
Yeah.
So that you're not destroying their name.
Okay.
But he did take that route, and he's done a U-turn and
Yeah.
gone down a different route.
Well, I remember speaking to Pryor about it, and he was like, "Don't franchise. Do not franchise."
I would never franchise, so I just think I couldn't trust someone with my brand name.
No.
I spent a lot of time building the brand
Yeah, that's the
to
thing.
what it is. And
And then they need to be relatively close to get the
Realistically,
guidance
yeah.
off you and stuff. You
I
do
mean,
it over Zoom,
if
but
you're paying for like just the support and whatnot, then this is very different from a franchise. They don't really need your business name,
no.
but yeah,
I think
it's
just
more like a mentorship.
Find yourself a good mentor.
Yeah.
That's what I've if I'm ever stuck, I just give someone, I've got mentors here.
I'll
there,
leave you a
and
card, mate, and you can give me a phone.
just ask, you just ask them, and if they charge, it's worth its weight in gold, a lot of it.
Yeah, yeah.
The amount of mistakes you can avoid.
I know a couple of people that have been to Lee Prior's one. They said it's been brilliant.
Yeah.
Really good for them.
He offers great advice, and he's prepared to put all the money in. And it's just it's just how much risk do you want to put in?
That's it.
How much risk are you willing to
I
tolerate?
don't think a lot of people would sell their house to grow their
No.
business.
No, but he was in a great, as far as I know, he's in a great position. He was a single bloke with no.
Yeah, that's
I'll
it.
tell you what though, like listening to it and like knowing a little bit about other industries and bits and pieces, like it's when you sit back and actually break it down, like, you lump 30 grand into it, yeah, and you got 500 customers, yeah. Like, that's the formula. I know it sounds so silly, but like the formula is, mate, just lump money into it.
It's not complicated.
No, it's really not.
You just have to spend it.
You might have to spend a bit of money to work out,
you have to pay
to tweak the marketing, and like you might need a slightly better leaflet, or your Google ad might need some tweaking, keywords tweaking.
Isn't it interesting?
Don't just throw 30 grand at a Google ad for anyone who's watching.
Jesus Christ, no.
Isn't it interesting though? Like, you don't have to be the best at what you do. You don't you don't have to be the best window cleaner. Yeah, you just need obviously the pole setup and everything. You can have it in any setup effectively, as long as it works. The absolute bottom line is marketing.
It don't have to be. It doesn't even have to be 30 grand though. You could do it with £1,000.
Marketing. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Did you use an agency for your marketing? You done it all?
No, I did it on myself. A lot of trial and error.
Yeah.
A lot of money spent.
That's what people, I think, is another big one. And they go, "Oh, I've done 500 quid on Google ads."
With someone?
No, they'll say they've done it themselves and I've got nothing. And it's like, you don't start with 500, start with 50.
Yes.
Work out your return, see, then try change something, see if that works a bit better. And then once you've got like the most amount of clicks for that 50 quid, then go and put 500 quid.
I do think people want the easy answer. Like, how did you get all your customers? Tell me now. Like, there's no golden rule. Like, do you know what I mean? Some people love Facebook. Some people love leaflets. Some people love door knocking.
Yeah.
It's all, find out what works.
I must say, you had a biblical growth, mate.
Yeah.
You did have a biblical
growth. It was.
Yeah.
But if you know me, it's like, that's kind of my life. Like, I do something and I do it to death.
Yeah.
And then I drop it.
But I think that is
I've always done that with everything. Everything I do.
Stick at one thing until successful.
Well, it's like you didn't watch my old YouTube, did you?
I didn't catch it. No.
So I got rid of all the videos. Well, why would I do that?
I don't know why you done that. I would love to go and watch it. I would have watched every single one before.
Honestly, I was doing it for 2 years and I built up a lovely subscription base and everyone was commenting and I was earning a little bit of money from YouTube. Sponsors.
Continued getting some money as well.
Yes, I mean, imagine where the channel would be now if I carried on.
Even if you'd stopped making videos, just leaving them there, it would have made you.
But I did it to death for 2 years. I was solidly focused on it. Like I said, I got sponsors and everything. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I don't want to do it.
Oh, mate, you was actually really popular then?
Yeah, well, in the window cleaning world.
I think YouTube is probably one of the hardest things.
It is.
It's much harder than building a business, I think.
Yeah.
Consistency. It's a full-time job.
It is.
To film and edit.
I know.
Then you put something up. So it took me 13 months to get monetized, and I was doing at least one video a week, sometimes 2 a week.
Right.
And I was spending money to buy stuff to do videos.
Oh, were you? Okay.
I was doing jobs for free.
Yeah.
Just to get stuff to film, and then for 13 months earned nothing, and then on the 14th month I got £6.
Well, it's all worth it then.
Yeah.
No, it's a long-term game. It's like business. Treat it like a long-term game. But like I said, I did it for 2 years and I built it.
But even now, so I'm 3 years into YouTube. I think last month I got 1,200 quid. Which seems like good money. If you split it over the 3 years, I've probably earned about 100 quid a month.
I know. And then you bought all your cameras.
Yeah, I've got 6 grand in camera equipment.
Yeah. I just treat it now more like a hobby. It's like a fun hobby.
Yeah, I agree, I agree.
You know, if a sponsor comes along, I'll probably consider it. But yeah, I just, you know what I mean? Just treat it like a hobby.
I think people respect it. So like my viewer base on YouTube's a lot different from your viewer base. So I've got like a load of bored housewives in America. I just want to watch satisfying cleaning videos.
Yeah.
Very, very different. And again, the podcast gets a very, very different.
Solely sort of exterior cleaners, is it?
It's a much slower growth because obviously it's much more niche.
Yeah.
But it does open you up for that sponsorship because it's so niche. It works a lot better.
Yeah, and one thing, don't feel bad for taking the sponsorship. The amount of effort you put into this, take everything. And if you get given something, don't feel bad about it because that's what I felt bad.
I love Honey sponsoring next.
Hello.
No.
Yeah, a couple of plugs and that. We're going to test them out on camera.
Christmas thing.
Yeah, no. So
we've had a couple of sponsors on here. I'm drinking Holy right now.
Nice.
Sponsored.
Nice. Yeah.
That really good. You know, I bought a load of Holy, but off my own back, not from the sponsorship. They sent me out a load of free stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Take it.
They just sent it to me because I think because I spent some money with it.
Yeah, you probably.
But yeah, no, you are right though. Yeah, take it because it's interesting. It's the thing is as well. I think with a podcast is like we're sitting here like laughing and joking, and don't know if this is the right thing to say. It's a laugh to us. Like we actually just enjoy sitting here chewing the fat. We have a good time. That's a good way of saying it. But we don't see it grow like that.
But what we learn from like getting people like you on is worth much more to us than the sponsorship could pay us. Because like we're in the same industry. So little tips and tricks we get from just interviewing people, which people want to see anyway.
I would just do this. I'd like to just do this. Just interview like interesting people, have a chat with them. I think this is great,
this would be much more like, you know, as your business grows, it gets less enjoyable, doesn't it? This is the bit where it's enjoyable.
It's
like,
tricky.
If it gets bigger, and then we're like...
And you're relying on it for money and stuff.
Being put on the spot to do this sponsorship. We've got to say that and say this.
At the moment, you're kind of unfiltered, what you can say.
Exactly.
I was listening to your podcast last week. You're like, I'm not racist, but... I was like, nothing good comes from that.
I've got to tell you this. We was at the expo, the business expo, and we got chatting to a couple of fellas. And there was obviously, they're a bit further down the line, and one of them's got 6 vans, right? So we're talking, and I said, lads, do you watch the podcast? And one of them went, yeah, I have you on every Monday in the office and that, the one with the franchise. And the other fella turned around and said, he went, I'll be honest, I didn't like it first time I watched it. And he went, no, maybe it was a bad episode. I put it on, he went, and within 2 minutes, Dan's mentioned Packet and Brasses. He went, these pair of wankers ain't for me. It was just a bad episode, you know what I mean?
You have gone some places in your episodes sometimes. I'm like, do you want to go there, do you?
It's funny. It's funny.
Keep it real. Like, it sounds like just keep it real, and I like it. I like listening every night.
I think as well, like this is when we asked Lee to come on. Like we were going to go to him, and all he had to do is give us an hour of his time or whatever. And I get it.
Try and sell it to him, mate, subtly. Sell it to him. I mean, it was only 59 minutes.
He didn't like the first 2 minutes. Absolutely not. He's not going to watch 2.5 hours of this one.
That's what he said. Go and tell the story.
I thought it's fair enough. It's not for you, but he watched an episode where it's just me and Dan, where we're a lot more relaxed. Whereas in an interview style episode, it's a little bit more structured and we don't always joke as much because it's about the guests more. I just wish he'd watched one of the guest episodes.
I think he'd like this one. I think he'd like this
I hope so. I hope people are enjoying it. I like this. Is really
if
good.
If it comes from you, mate, he'll probably watch it.
I don't know. He probably thinks I'm a twat as well. Probably. I don't know. No, Lee's. I like Lee a lot. Even if he don't like me, I like you, Lee. So I think he likes me. So
he definitely ain't getting this far into the podcast.
You want to break this one up a bit?
I loved it the way he said it. Like, cheers, Lee. Like he's ever going to watch this.
No, I'll send it to him because he's had a few shout outs today.
So
he's had a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah,
we've spoken about him a few times on the podcast. He started off bad mouthing because he didn't come on. No, I'm joking.
No, it's really good. What you're doing here is really good. So carry on.
As I say, like our people that listen are window cleaners or external cleaners that are working generally.
Yes.
We obviously get a few people that are like office pods now.
I like the long ones though. Like I know you do you average about an hour, don't you?
About 45 minutes.
I like the long ones. I like Joe Rogan. He's got 3-hour podcasts. I like it. I'm out all day. 3 hours goes like that.
Yeah, for the people that are listening whilst they're working, much better.
Yeah, obviously not great for YouTube.
Some people watch. Like we get more people watch.
Yeah.
Than we do listen.
Okay.
And obviously, like attention span wise, longer is not always as good, but they watch something like this because it's more engaging. When it's just me and Dan talking shit, I think
it's a lot easier. Like this hasn't felt like 3 hours, has it?
No, has it been 3 hours?
That's what I mean.
Jesus,
like when you've got like an hour just with him. Like just each other.
No, it's been really good fun. I've really enjoyed it, so thanks for letting me come on.
Thanks for coming. I appreciate you making the journey.
No, that's all right. We'll probably need to do a part 2. There's probably loads we haven't addressed.
We'll definitely. We were saying like 2025 for us. We didn't start getting. So we started in September 23. I don't know if we had a guest until 2024 anyway.
No,
we might have had one.
Yeah, no, we didn't. It was the painter and decorator first one, and he was when it was cold. He was here when it was cold, probably January, February.
Yeah. So the people we had on last year can come on this year for like part 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like as the year goes on.
Oh, I feel like I haven't even touched the surface somewhat.
But we can.
There's so much to talk about.
I know there is loads to talk about.
And then you might have a completely different. Might try and grow again.
Yeah.
Do you know one thing I like talking about on this podcast, right? With people like-minded, I can go out, like we can sit here and we can talk about water-fed poles and brush heads, probably for an hour, right? But you'd never have this conversation with your missus.
Who the hell's going to want to talk to you about that?
Would you shut up? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like we can go into all the details.
And there is an audience for that.
Yeah.
You know? There is a big audience.
Yeah.
Like, you know, niche audience, but, they're going to...
We're constantly growing the podcast, and not the reason we got you on is to grow it, but I think as we get guests on, it opens us up to another like fan base of people that have different window cleaners. That like someone might only go on YouTube to watch your video. Now you might mention it in your next video, and then think, oh, go check that out.
Well, we'll definitely mention it.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, I mean, I'm all for sport and stuff like this.
And I think I mentioned
you should have brought your camera.
I should have done really.
We mentioned it earlier. A lot of people actually wanted to really hear your story.
I know,
but you didn't know.
I don't feel like I've explained enough in this.
I know you mean.
We can do a part two.
I feel like.
We can do a part 2, bro.
Yeah.
You pop down in like January or
Yeah,
something. We'll come to you.
We'll see if we can
I
find
would say
space.
come to me, but the house is manic.
We'll see if we can find somewhere we can rent.
So
or
you go into
something.
the,
It's serviced office spaces are normally about £80 a day.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
You going to the expo?
I am. Yeah, it's a 2-day event though. Yeah.
We'll
Why
see
is
you
it
there.
2 days? Do you know?
Just got bigger.
Is it?
Yeah. A lot of
A
people
lot of
crammed
people
into.
thought that one day wasn't going to be enough,
Okay.
or wasn't enough.
Are you going to go to both days?
We're
we're up there.
exhibiting.
Oh, you?
We've got a stand too. This is
blimey.
going to be at the expo.
Oh, nice.
We're going to be doing. Did you see our expo episode?
Yeah, you were
So
walking around talking to people.
We're
That's
gonna
it.
do-
Yeah,
We're going to
yeah.
do that again. The quick fire questions, but we're
Yeah.
also going to have like 45 minutes with anyone who wants to sit down, and we'll probably structure something.
We're going to have to,
How did you start out?
Yeah.
You know, and then however it leads on, 45 minutes, half an hour.
That will fly.
And then there'll be like little bonus episodes that we'll put out.
Oh,
so they'll
okay.
be on top of the weekly episode.
Right.
So yeah, we're hoping to get, you know,
You're going to get loads of
10
content.
minutes.
We are
minutes of
staying up there as well, so we can always take without trying to sound weird, we are going to take the cameras back to the hotel room and record in there. Mate, that sounds so bad.
No, so if there's
I'm gonna short that.
For example, if you was coming down, we could say like, if you were staying on one of the nights, say come to our hotel.
Get the camera.
We can do part 2. We can do 2.5
Yeah,
hours.
with a
With a bottle of wine in it.
The bubble bath.
No, I wasn't sure about going for 2 days, but I probably will go for the 2 days.
It's a good show.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting a stand there because, like I said, I'm hoping to bring this product out next year in
It's
January.
really reasonable.
Is it? Because I wasn't sure. Like, I'm trying to bring this product out, and I don't know who's gonna. I hope people buy it. It's looking really good.
Teasing us.
I know. I just hope there is a market for it, and I'm just hoping. Yeah.
There's a couple of guys. So we've got a guy coming on in a couple of weeks called Gavin. He's just released. So he just does gutters. So
Oh, okay.
Cleaning,
I heard you talking about him last week.
Really interesting guy.
Yeah.
Really busy. He commented on the latest episode.
did, yeah.
He's added another 10 customers. He's flying through our little. How many customers have you added this week?
Yeah, I like that little
good,
segment.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And he's just manufactured a product which is like a safety ladder stand. It just clips onto ladders, and the ladder literally won't move. It's so
Wow,
clever.
right.
I don't know if he's exhibiting, but he's going to talk about it on the podcast. Really,
That'd be
really good
interesting.
kid.
Yeah.
And really reasonably priced. And if you go up a ladder, it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Even on wet decking, it will.
Really.
Yeah, it's
Mate,
really
that's
good.
like ice in it. Oh my god. How
I've
many
had it
times have you
slipped.
nearly gone over?
I've slipped on them. I busted my ankle up, and my ankle's like a freaking like a
The only
tennis
time
ball.
I've ever fallen off a ladder has been on decking.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, first time was composite, ladder just slipped out from underneath me. Second time was I was cleaning like a lean-to roof above a decking, and the ladder fell, and I sort of like landed on the railings. It wasn't graceful, but
Oh,
it
landed on
was
the
lovely,
railings.
Yeah.
Oh god. Did the customer see it?
No, I'm surprised. I weigh 16 stone. I'm surprised I didn't take the railing.
Yeah.
Or
Wooden
impaled
railing.
yourself. Oh, like a handrail.
Yeah, like
yeah.
the railing around the decking. Yeah.
God.
that
Yeah.
was a
No.
bit-
You don't realise you've hurt yourself until like hours
yeah,
later.
it's the adrenaline.
The
kicks in and you
adrenaline.
start falling.
Yeah,
and then,
I
like,
couldn't
gets to
walk.
the evening and you're like,
Yes. Yeah.
or the next day.
Yeah.
Horrible.
It's No. It's a hard game.
Right, should we wrap it up?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you know how we see us out? Do you know?
No.
Alright.
I'll know as soon as you say it.
Alright. Well, listen. Go on. Do you want me to do it?
Go on, do it.
Keep up.
Thank you everyone for watching the special guest episode. Let us know what you're thinking.
This might be episode 60 as well.
Whoa! Big 660. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you've had a good week. Keep up the regular watching, and remember, stay cleaning.
Cheers.
I don't know where I was going with it. It's like, really, Dad?
Right.